been taken and what's left behind. But this clearly is a prisoner getting VVIP perks like no other. It's not the first time. Sukesh Chandrasekhar is a habitual offender. In Tihar jail, he was found to have cell phones with him, again had cash. He had people, his actors, visiting him inside the jail premises. And now in Mandoli jail, it looks like his racket continues despite being a high security inmate. These are the kind of perks that he's managed to smuggle in. And Sukesh Chandrasekhar bawling his eyes out when he realizes that he's been caught yet again. Mr. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, is joining us on this broadcast. Sir, what this puts the focus on is rampant corruption in jails. Sukesh Chandrasekhar, a con man who has money to spend, is willingly doing so, managing to smuggle in all sorts of items inside his jail.
Disgusting and nauseating, to say the least. The master swindler that he is, he has been able to bribe his way to whatever he wants to get in the jails. This happened in Tihar, and this has happened again tragically in Mandoli jails also. I wish this time the jail authorities come down like a ton of bricks on the corrupt elements. For too long have they beguiled and befooled the nation that Sukesh Chandrasekhar is under judicial custody. No, he's not. He's playing the cards the way he wants to, gets the cards that he dispensed the way he wants to, and then lives in the life of utmost luxury, which even people who are highly placed in life will not have that luxury, what he's enjoying behind the bars. It is a matter of crying shame. What Tihar could not do, Mandoli also could not do. And then I do hope heads will roll, because we cannot accept this kind of a brazen corruption in case of master swindlers who will beat Charles Sobraj hollow.
Very true. And it's great to see that these kind of raids were conducted, because it blows the lid off the kind of corruption in the jails. But the question also, sir, is about long-term action. It's not just to Sukesh, but several other such prisoners who have money at their disposal, who get what they want. It's no longer a jail term then.
Yes, you're so right. Mandoli and Tihar there, and in Uttar Pradesh, you must have heard of Chitrakoot jails and elsewhere, where the Bahubalis and Mukhtar Ansari, his son, enjoyed life and absolutely without any care in the world. And the corruption in the jails is amazing. If you see the interrogation reports of what kind of jewelry, Rolexes were given and gifted to the jail staff, it will amaze. It takes a lifetime to buy rulers. And here they're distributed like as if they were biscuits or Parle G biscuits or something like that. It is a crying shame, and I do hope that this time exemplary punishment would be given to the jail staff and not cosmetics.
Let's really hope so, because the need of the hour is to send across a very clear lesson to officials who indulge in this kind of corruption, that they will face the axe, and only then will you see really reform in the jail system. Thanks very much, Mr. Vikram Singh, for joining us here on India Today with your expert view, sir, on what really needs to be done. This once again has put the focus on how Sukesh Chandrasekhar seems to be enjoying his time in jail. In Tihar also, similar raids had exposed how not just did he enjoy VVIP perks in his jail cell, but he had cell phones, he was comfortably making calls, he was having visitors streaming in without being checked at all. Why? Because he had bribed all of the officials in the jail. And it seems like a repeat that's happening in Mandoli jail as well. That's perhaps why you see Sukesh Chandrasekhar crying the way he is, because he knows once again he's been busted, and this is the end of his act now in Mandoli jail as well. But as Mr. Vikram Singh said, we're going to hope that there is sizable action that's taken as a follow-up to these raids. It's great that the officials did realize that something's not right, something's fishy, and went forward with these raids. But the fact that now you have to ensure a serious investigation to find who are all being paid by Sukesh Chandrasekhar, that is something that's pending right now. We're going to continue tracking the story and getting you those exclusive CCTV images here on India Today. Time for me to slip into a very short break. We'll be right back.
You are watching India Today.
India Today Tourism Survey and Awards discovers the best destinations, spreading from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and awarding the best destination in 9 categories. Watch the live webcast on indiatoday.in from 10:30 am onwards on 24th February 2023.
India gets its first ever transgender ward. The GT Hospital in Mumbai has opened a facility exclusively for the community. The ward has 30 beds with separate examination and dressing rooms and has gender-neutral toilets.
What happens is, of course, if it's a patient is critical, for example, if he needs an ICU, if he requires a surgery, then in these places there is no gender division. So these patients will have to go there. But for other things like nebulization, CPAP, so all that will happen under one roof.
GT Hospital has trained more than 150 staff members to sensitize them on providing medical treatment to transgender patients.
We've taken the help of transgender community in developing the ward. What are your needs? In that context, we actually had sensitization of around 150 of our own employees to know how to, be sensitive to their needs, to their issues.
The hospital authorities say their initiative is a step in the direction of making India more gender inclusive. With Dev Kotak in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Tell us about the industry first. How is it going, and when we end the fiscal year, what would the numbers stand at?
In 22-23, we'll end up with about 75,000 crores of exports.
Okay.
And about total production of about 350,000 crores of mobile phones. That's where we are going to land up with. And the total electronic production will be approximately $90 billion. Total electronic exports should cross $20 billion.
The industry, on the other hand, has been seeking a lot of strength with respect to the PLI incentives. Even non-fiscal incentives also the industry seeks. So are you saying that the industry needs to move beyond PLI schemes and fiscal incentives or non-fiscal incentives and start work on their own so that they could probably then become Atmanirbhar?
There is some things which the industry can do. I think that will happen automatically once the scale kicks in. Once the scale kicks in, then you can't hold back Indian entrepreneurs. That is the tipping point where things will dramatically change, and that portion of disability will get taken care of. Before that, I think the governments have to kick in as far as infrastructure is concerned, see how better the power situation now is compared to 2 decades back. Now, we need to do better in terms of pricing.
Last question, how are you seeing India's cellular manufacturing and electronics manufacturing industry going forward? How are the supply chains concerns for India, and are you in touch with the government for any incentives or schemes or any other support that you might be wanting, sir?
This is a very proactive government, and all of government and all of industry works together. The same thing we can say about Government of India and Government of UP. And in fact, in some ways, the government is running ahead of the industry in identifying the gaps of the industry and asking us what we need. I think it's a wonderful partnership, and I'm very optimistic about the future.
watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me take you through the top news, the headlines as always. After multiple disruptions of standing panel voting, MCD House adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow. The mayor hints at action against BJP councillors. And Delhi MCD Dangal stoops to a new low with ugly slapgate inside the Delhi Civic Centre. Aam Aadmi Party councillor slaps a BJP councillor, Pramod Gupta. BJP calls it really proof of Aam Aadmi Party's gundagiri. And here comes his big relief for E. Palniswamy as the top court upholds single leadership in AIDMK, gives a nod for AIDMK general body meeting, refuses to look into OPS's plea. And another young Congress Neta there resigns. Freedom icon Rajaji's great-grandson, C.R. Kesavan, quits the Congress. In fact, says that he no longer stands with the values of the party. Congress declares itself as challenger number one. Congress vows to lead the alliance in 2024. Rahul says TMC has history of violence and scams. All right, here's some big news coming in of a protest by the BJP. As we see, there was a huge ruckus at the MCD while the mayoral elections were taking place. It went on till late last night. And we see the BJP now coming out on the streets condemning the Aam Aadmi Party's alleged gundagiri. This dangal there that continues. We have Amit Bharadwaj, our correspondent, tracking those developments live there. These are live visuals coming in of placards being held where the BJP condemning the Aam Aadmi Party's gundagiri. Live visuals as we track those developments on the streets of Delhi.
लेकिन तो हम उस गुंडागर्दी की भी भर्त्सना करते हैं। सिसोदिया जी, आपने दिल और अभी जो खबरें आ रही हैं, पूरी दिल्ली के चारों ओर।
In fact, Amit Bharadwaj is live with us. Amit, if you can hear me, a quick word from you on the protest that we can see on our screens of the BJP at this point condemning the Aam Aadmi Party. Is this over mayoral elections and the chaos that ensued late last night?
बहनों और भाइयों, दिल्ली के व्यापारियों की, हमारे प्रदेश के अध्यक्ष
Bharadwaj, if you can hear me.
हमारे बीच पे आ चुके हैं। एक बार करतल भरी से आप उनका स्वागत करें।
All right, we're going to try and patch our reporter there, but here we have live visuals of protests coming in. The BJP protesting on the streets of Delhi. We see largely placards being held by those BJP netas condemning the Aam Aadmi Party, calling out their gundagiri. In fact, late last night, there was huge ruckus that took place over mayoral elections. The deputy mayor's elections was to take place. It went on into quite some chaos at that MCD house. And finally, it appears that the BJP now has come out to condemn the Aam Aadmi Party, saying that this is absolute gundagiri. One of the Aam Aadmi Party councillors had slapped a BJP worker as well. So this ruckus there went on till late last night, until 10. In fact, at this point, we see BJP members coming out on the streets to protest with placards there. I'm going to try and patch our reporter to get a little more information on this at this point. From what we know, this is over the ruckus and the chaos that ensued at the MCD house over mayoral elections, where allegedly an Aam Aadmi Party neta slapped a BJP leader, and that's now snowballed into huge protests, with the BJP asking for accountability, condemning Aam Aadmi Party's alleged gundagiri in Delhi.
केजरीवाल किस प्रकार की तानाशाही कर बड़े दुर्भाग्य की बात
right, we're cutting across some breaking news coming in. According to the Congress sources, Delhi police is trying to detain Pawan Khera at the airport. He was about to board an Indigo flight to Raipur, and it appears that there were attempts to detain Congress Neta Pawan Khera just when he was boarding a flight to Raipur. This is the latest information that we get. Now, what's the reason for his detention? That remains to be established. We're going to try and track those developments. For now, for what we hear, Pawan Khera, the Delhi police, is attempting to detain him as he's just about to board a flight to Raipur. This is the basic information that we have. We're going to try and track details on this. This comes according to Congress sources that the Delhi police was attempting to detain Pawan Khera at the airport. He was about to board the Indigo flight for Raipur. Supriya Srinath, our correspondent, bringing us more on that.
साथ थे इस फ्लाइट में हमारे जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन केसी वेणुगोपाल जी हैं, जनरल सेक्रेटरी रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी हैं, ऐसे तमाम लोग इस फ्लाइट पे जा रहे थे। ये फ्लाइट कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन जो 85वां कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन हो रहा है वहां के लिए अग्रसर थी। जब हम लोग चलने वाले थे तभी पता चला कि पवन खेड़ा जी को ये कहकर उतारा गया कि आपके बैग का कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया, जबकि उनका कोई चेक इन बैग भी नहीं था। नीचे आने पर उनको बताया गया कि उनको डीप्लेन किया गया है और ये सीआईएसएफ के कोई डीएसपी आएंगे, उनको कोई नोटिस सर्व करेंगे। ये मनमानी तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? क्या आप लोगों को फ्लाइट करने से रोकेंगे? आपने पहले हमारे महाधिवेशन में व्यवधान डालना चाहा वहां पर ईडी रेड कराकर, अब आप हमारे कुलीग को यहाँ पर डीप्लेन कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत काम किया है जिसके लिए ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है, किन धाराओं के अंतर्गत की जा रही है, ये बताना पड़ेगा। और जब तक ये हवाई जहाज हम सबको लेकर, इंक्लूडिंग पवन जी को लेकर नहीं उड़ता है, हम सब यहीं खड़े रहेंगे और ये तानाशाही कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं है।
All right, there you have it. Supriya Srinath, the Congress Neta, says there is no reason for why Pawan Khera, the spokesperson of the Congress party, should be detained. What's the reason to this kind of high-handedness? And unless he is let off and allowed to board the plane, none of us will board that flight. This is Supriya Srinath. My colleague Supriya Bharadwaj joining me for a little more. Supriya, quick word. What's the reason for the Delhi police to detain Pawan Khera?
Well, what we are learning right now, Nabila, is that there are 2 FIRs which have been registered against Mr. Khera in connection with some statement that he has given recently, and in connection with that only, when Mr. Khera was all set to board the flight for Raipur, the Delhi police came and they stopped him from not boarding that flight, the Indigo flight. And there are other senior leaders which include K.C. Venugopal, who is the General Secretary Organization, at the same time Randeep Singh Surjewala, and who's who of the Congress party and the communication department who are present there at the Delhi airport. The flight is, they are not boarding the flight and they're protesting at the airport itself. And they're saying till the time Pawan Khera is not allowed to board the flight and head towards Raipur, they are not going. Mr. Khera, at the moment, we're trying to get in touch with him. He hasn't responded so far. His phone is continuously busy. Here in Raipur also, the Congress party is saying, because after the success of Bharat Jodo Yatra and that fiery speech by Rahul Gandhi in Lok Sabha, the BJP is on the back foot. And that's why they're resorting to these tactics so that there is some khalal in the AICC plenary session. This is what the Congress party is maintaining in Raipur, where I am at the moment. What we are hearing is that the preparations are in full swing, but AICC media department head Pawan Khera has been stopped to board the flight is a big news, and is having a huge impact here in the Raipur also. And so far we have heard from Supriya Srinath. She also has gone all out and attacked the BJP, and at the same time they are also saying, the Congress is maintaining that Mr. Khera is going from Delhi to Raipur to attend the proceedings of the AICC plenary session, the 3-day session, and then he's going to come back to Delhi. But why police is stopping him from boarding the flight?
Supriya, from what we see there, visuals coming in of Supriya Srinath along with Pawan Khera, a bunch of other Congress netas who are all standing right outside the Delhi airport. These are the live visuals. I'm going to play that out for you yet again. What exactly Congress leader Supriya Srinath has to say as Pawan Khera has been allegedly detained by the Delhi police.
हमारे साथ थे इस फ्लाइट में हमारे जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन केसी वेणुगोपाल जी हैं, जनरल सेक्रेटरी रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी हैं, ऐसे तमाम लोग इस फ्लाइट पे जा रहे थे। ये फ्लाइट कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन जो 85वां कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन हो रहा है वहां के लिए अग्रसर थी। जब हम लोग चलने वाले थे तभी पता चला कि पवन खेड़ा जी को ये कहकर उतारा गया कि आपके बैग का कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया, जबकि उनका कोई चेक इन बैग भी नहीं था। नीचे आने पर उनको बताया गया कि उनको डीप्लेन किया गया है और ये CISF के कोई DSP आएंगे, उनको कोई नोटिस सर्व करेंगे। ये मनमानी तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? क्या आप लोगों को अब फ्लाइट करने से रोकेंगे? आपने पहले हमारे महाधिवेशन में व्यवधान डालना चाहा, वहां पर ED रेड कराकर, अब आप हमारे कुलीग को यहाँ पर डीप्लेन कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत काम किया है जिसके लिए ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है, किन धाराओं के अंतर्गत की जा रही है, ये बताना पड़ेगा। और जब तक ये हवाई जहाज हम सबको लेकर, इंक्लूडिंग पवन जी को लेकर नहीं उड़ता है, हम सब यही खड़े रहेंगे और ये तानाशाही कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं है।
All right, that was Supriya Srinath. Now, what exactly is the cause or reason behind the police detaining Pawan Khera? It appears that the Congress, or rather Pawan Khera, the spokesperson of the Congress party a little earlier, a few days ago, had spoken about Narendra Modi, and while referring to Narendra Modi, he got his middle name wrong. Let me cut across exactly to what Pawan Khera had said that really infuriated the BJP, condemning him. There were complaints that were filed against him, accusing him of trying to insult Narendra Modi and his father. This was Pawan Khera's bite a few days earlier that has sparked this row.
जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र गौतम दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम है? गौतम दास है दामोदर दास सॉरी। जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम है? गौतम दास है दामोदर दास सॉरी।
All right, that was exactly the message that Pawan Khera had given, or rather a statement that he had made, which sparked enough controversy, especially within the BJP. The BJP Neta is quite angry with Pawan Khera, accusing him of insulting Narendra Modi as well as his father. This was the allegation that was leveled against Pawan Khera, that he did it deliberately. It was done with an intention to mock Narendra Modi and his father. And it appears that a complaint was filed with this regard as well. And now, while Pawan Khera, a few days after he's made that comment, he is attempting to board a flight to Raipur at the Delhi airport. And we believe he's been detained by the CRPF there. That's what Supriya Srinath has to say. In fact, I'm going to cut across to Supriya Srinath yet again, if we could play out her reaction on why exactly is Pawan Khera detained, what's happened, and they're all right at the Delhi airport. These are the visuals coming in from the Delhi airport live. Let me cut across to Supriya Srinath as she spoke.
हमारे साथ थे इस फ्लाइट में हमारे जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन केसी वेणुगोपाल जी हैं, जनरल सेक्रेटरी रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी हैं, ऐसे तमाम लोग इस फ्लाइट में जा रहे थे। ये फ्लाइट कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन, जो 85वां कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन हो रहा है, वहां के लिए अग्रसर थी। जब हम लोग चलने वाले थे, तभी पता चला कि पवन खेड़ा जी को ये कहकर उतारा गया कि आपके बैग का कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया, जबकि उनका कोई चेक इन बैग भी नहीं था। नीचे आने पर उनको बताया गया कि उनको डीप्लेन किया गया है और ये CISF के कोई DSP आएंगे, उनको कोई नोटिस सर्व करेंगे। ये मनमानी तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? क्या आप लोगों को अब फ्लाइट करने से रोकेंगे? आपने पहले हमारे महाधिवेशन में व्यवधान डालना चाहा, वहां पर ED रेड कराकर, अब आप हमारे कुलीग को यहाँ पर डीप्लेन कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत काम किया है जिसके लिए ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है, किन धाराओं के अंतर्गत की जा रही है, ये बताना पड़ेगा। और जब तक ये हवाई जहाज हम सबको लेकर, इंक्लूडिंग पवन जी को लेकर नहीं उड़ता है, हम सब यही खड़े रहेंगे और ये तानाशाही कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं है।
Now, cutting across, the Enforcement Directorate has now summoned Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's PA for questioning in connection with its ongoing probe into the excise policy scam. In the latest on the excise policy scam, the ED has now summoned Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant. He is going to be questioned with regards to the excise policy. In fact, the ED now intensifying its probe as a lot of allegations leveled against the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi for trying to swindle money in the name of excise policy, formulating the new excise policy. This was done with an intention to extract money. These are the allegations on the Aam Aadmi Party, which the ED, the CBI, the IT, you have all the central agencies intensely probing these allegations. ED has also now summoned Arvind Kejriwal's PA, his personal assistant, to try and investigate the role of him, or it appears even the Chief Minister, if at all, Arvind Kejriwal, in formulating the excise policy which may have had corrupt intentions. This was the allegation leveled against the AAP. Manish Sisodia is one of the prime accused in the excise policy scam. In fact, at this point, Manish Sisodia has been summoned multiple times, and so far there's no conclusive report on this case, though. It's been months. Let me cut across to Manish. Manish, I was saying months that the ED has been probing the excise policy in Delhi. And for months, Aam Aadmi Party has been saying that if there was any wrongdoing, then by now the ED or the IT or any other central agency could have found out and implicated those guilty. But so far, no proof that they are guilty. You have another summons going out to Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant now. What's the reason?
Well, Nabila, not only the summon was given to Kejriwal's PA, personal assistant, that is Bibhav, but also what we have been given to understand is that he is being questioned as we speak in the Delhi excise policy alleged scam case. Now, what we do know at this point of time is that Kejriwal's PA Bibhav was summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. This morning, he appeared before the Enforcement Directorate, and now the officials are questioning him in connection with this case. Now, as far as this entire case is concerned, it has been months, absolutely true, but the Enforcement Directorate maintains that they are closing in to the main culprit in this entire scam. As far as Manish Sisodia's name is concerned, remember that appeared from the first charge sheet by the Enforcement Directorate that he had played a major role. He had destroyed more than half dozens of cases while this excise policy was enforced in Delhi. But as far as Arvind Kejriwal's name is concerned, in the last charge sheet, we saw that, and we reported also that Arvind Kejriwal's name was also mentioned in the charge sheet, and in a reference that Vijay Nair, one of the main accused and conspirator in the case according to Enforcement Directorate, spoke to Arvind Kejriwal over a FaceTime, and that FaceTime call was made only to ensure that Sameer Mahendru, another accused in the case, can be taken into confidence. And according to the ED charge sheet, Arvind Kejriwal over the FaceTime call told Sameer Mahendru that you can trust Vijay Nair, he is my boy, and do what he is doing, what he is asking you to do. So the Enforcement Directorate implicated Arvind Kejriwal in that charge sheet, and now his PA being questioned in connection with this case. So there is a huge, I can say, blow to Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. They are claiming that this is nothing but political vendetta. But as far as the agencies are concerned, they are claiming that not only they are closing in on Manish Sisodia, but also they are implicating Arvind Kejriwal at this point of time. Nabila.
All right, Manish, thank you very much. It appears that Arvind Kejriwal also then, in that case, in the picture on the excise policy. We believe his PA has now been summoned. Investigation into the excise policy going intense with the ED, taking a good look at all the angles to see if there were any corrupt intentions before framing that excise policy, if there was any money extracted out in the name of the excise policy in Delhi. In fact, Manish, at this point, all right, we've lost his connection there. That's the latest coming in. We have Arvind Kejriwal's PA, who's now been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate in the Liquorgate probe. As we know, the excise policy has been intensely probed. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal also, it appears to be in the dock. He, along with his deputy, have been intensely investigated by the Enforcement Directorate. And the latest coming in that ED is all set to question Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant as well at this point. He could be grilled and questions will be asked on various levels. There are a lot of approvals that may have been granted by the senior departments, including that of the Chief Minister's office, the Deputy Chief Minister's office as well. They were all involved in framing the policy. How far was it malicious or corrupt? That remains to be established. Cutting across to Munish Pandey for a little more. Munish, a quick word from you again on Arvind Kejriwal's PA. How far is he integral in the framing of the policy itself? Why do you think he has now been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate? If you could elaborate for us, is he an active member, a participant in framing the policy?
Well, Nabila, as far as the framing of this entire policy was concerned, what ED charge sheet maintains that Manish Sisodia, Vijay Nair, and some of the key accused in the case, that is the businessman in this liquor scam, Sameer Mahendra and others, were involved in framing of this policy. As far as Arvind Kejriwal's PA is concerned, what ED maintains at this point of time, and this is a preliminary information which we are getting from our sources, is that Arvind Kejriwal's PA, who is being questioned as we speak in the Enforcement Directorate office in National Capital, he was someone who was involved in setting up certain meetings of Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, a member of parliament from the southern part of India, that person had also come and met Arvind Kejriwal regarding the liquor policy, how he is going to benefit from the liquor policy. And Arvind Kejriwal in that meeting welcomed that particular member of parliament to do business in national capital. Apart from that, we have been told that Arvind Kejriwal's PA was also involved in setting up certain calls to certain accused in the case. So at this point of time, what we do know that Bibhav, the question of the personal assistant of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, he has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate officials regarding the role he played in setting up the meetings, setting up certain calls, and ED wants to know that whether these meetings were official in nature or whether there was any backdoor meetings or not, and whether his phone was used in certain calls, including the FaceTime call or not. So these are the primary information which we are getting from our sources within the Enforcement Directorate. His questioning is going to be certainly important because the focus of ED is going to be if there was any role played by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in forming and executing this excise policy or not. And if ED finds any evidence, then they are going to confront the PA of Arvind Kejriwal in connection with this case.
Right, and this development, it appears, comes just a day after the CBI has taken up a summon to Manish Sisodia. Would you be able to tell us a little more on that? Summons were issued by the CBI to Manish Sisodia, and he's asked for a renewed date, another date for him to attend. How far is that true?
Well, Manish Sisodia was summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation to appear before them on February 26th, that is Sunday. Earlier also there was summon issued, but Manish Sisodia said that he had to present and prepare the budget of Delhi. That is why he needs time till February 27. But the Central Bureau of Investigation decided to question, and they issued a summon again to Manish Sisodia to appear, to ask him to appear before them on this Sunday, that is February 26th. So CBI, on one hand, they are ready to question Manish Sisodia. Manish Sisodia, in his statement, said that if he appears before the Central Bureau of Investigation, then there is a high possibility that he will be arrested. I spoke to my sources within the Central Bureau of Investigation. They are claiming that they have huge amount of evidence against Manish Sisodia. They want to confront Manish Sisodia with those evidences, and if Manish Sisodia fails to defend himself during the confrontation with those evidence, then there is a high possibility that he might be arrested for his alleged role in executing this entire Delhi liquor policy, excise policy. As far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, Enforcement Directorate on the other side, they are going step by step. First of all, they call the businessmen, there are certain key players in this case, and now they are recording the statements to make a very foolproof case against Manish Sisodia and possibly against Arvind Kejriwal also, and that is why they are questioning the PA of Delhi Chief Minister in connection with this case as we speak.
Yeah, that is certainly huge development there. Manjinder Sissa of the BJP joins us on the phone line. Mr. Sissa, a quick word from you as we see Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant has now been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. What does that speak of?
Arvind Kejriwal as a Chief Minister, उन्होंने ये हाई पावर्ड कमेटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूट की, जिस कमेटी ने, जिसमें स्तेंदर जैन, मनीष सिसोदिया, जिन लोगों ने 2% से 12% कमीशन बढ़ाकर जो हम होलसेलर थे उनको 2,500 करोड़ रुपए का प्रॉफिट दिया और सरकार को 8,000 करोड़ रुपए का नुकसान। तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की नॉलेज के बिना तो संभव ही नहीं है कि विजय नायर जैसा आदमी एक मिनिस्ट्रियल बंगला लॉट करा के रह रहा हो, तो संभव ही नहीं था। उनके स्टाफ की और उनकी तो सीधी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, और इतने हजारों करोड़ रुपया जब आ रहा था तो ऐसा संभव नहीं था कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की नॉलेज के बिना आ रहा है। जब दिल्ली की राजधानी को 8,000 करोड़ रुपए का राजस्व में नुकसान हुआ तो ऐसा तो नहीं था अरविंद केजरीवाल तब सो रहे थे। और जब ये पॉलिसी बनाने के लिए उन्होंने हाई पावर्ड कमेटी में 3 लोगों को डाला और उन लोगों ने 2% से 12% कमीशन की, तो ऐसा तो नहीं था अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की जानकारी के बिना हुआ। तो ये सारी चीजों के में कटघरे में अरविंद केजरीवाल है, पैसे का लेन देन अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने किया है, तो उनका स्टाफ और उन लोगों को, मैं तो कहता हूं अरविंद केजरीवाल को भी जरूर बुलाया जाना चाहिए एज अ मुख्यमंत्री। उनकी
In
नॉलेज
your
के
view, do you think Arvind Kejriwal will now be summoned next?
नहीं, I don't think so, but I'd say the investigation, it's the whole purpose of the idea to discuss, but as my say that yes, he has called for investigation because he is the one who is the main chief.
Right. You know, the excise policy has been going on for months, Mr. Sirsa. Investigation is on, but the Aam Aadmi Party says if there was any fault in their framing of the policy by now, they should have been implicated. But so far, the ED, IT, CBI have no proof, and which is why there's no progress in this case at all. That's what they say. This is a vilification campaign against them. All right, I'm cutting across to Akshita joining us live from the newsroom as well with more information. Akshita, a quick word. We see Arvind Kejriwal's PA has been summoned. He's been questioned as well. And this makes us want to think that maybe Arvind Kejriwal would be next. Here, the Chief Minister of Delhi also could be summoned in the same excise policy case.
Very true, Nabila. This is possibly the biggest news break yet in the Liquorgate scam. While we've seen the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI parallelly conducting investigations, you've seen some of the top AAP leaders being questioned as well in this case. You also mentioned the example of Manish Sisodia, who's been summoned by the CBI for a second time after he asked time the first time around. Now Sunday, we'll have to see if he actually appears before the CBI. Arvind Kejriwal, while commenting on that, said that this entire Liquorgate scam is political vendetta. There is no scam in the first place. So that's been Kejriwal's defense all along. But what the Enforcement Directorate currently is saying is that there's a serious ring of corruption that needs to be looked into. According to them, kickbacks from the liquor policy was used by the Aam Aadmi Party in their Goa campaign. According to the Enforcement Directorate, Arvind Kejriwal was directly involved in some of the phone conversations that happened with the South Cartel, as they're being referred to. And I'm talking about BRS MLC, Kalvakuntla Kavita's name being brought up, a YSRCP MP's name being brought up. His son Raghava was taken into custody a few days ago. Now the allegation, according to the Enforcement Directorate, is that Kejriwal was involved in the conversations and directly in the dealings. That Vijay Nair, who's being deemed as the kingpin of this liquor gate, was someone, in fact, who Kejriwal vouched for personally, saying Vijay Nair is my boy, you can trust him with these transactions. So Kejriwal's name has repeatedly been brought up by the investigative agencies. But this is perhaps the first step that's being taken closest really to getting to Kejriwal, in the sense that his personal assistant has now been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate, is being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. That means essentially that the agency believes there is reason to believe Kejriwal's direct involvement, and perhaps that the PA will give them more leads on that. This will lead to a fresh showdown, of course, between the AAP and the BJP. But when the allegation is about Vijay Nair receiving 100 crores as kickbacks from the liquor policy, 70 crores being transferred to, in fact, the AAP Goa campaign. And you know also that there's an advertising agency top honcho who's been taken into custody in Goa also for his role in that entire advertising campaign, again linked to the liquor gate. So there have been a lot of questions about where this money was used, the alleged kickbacks from the liquor policy. And in all of that, the Enforcement Directorate has said that there is a role of Arvind Kejriwal. So it's not just Manish Sisodia now who faces fire from the agencies in the Liquorgate scam. It's reaching right up to Arvind Kejriwal as well.
Right, at this point we hear that he's not just summoned but he's also been questioned. The questioning is complete. Do we know any of those updates? Akshita, what line of questioning was it? If we also have Manish on the same, if you could elaborate a little on the PA, his background, any word on the line of questioning? Well, it appears we've lost Munish's connection. Akshita, a little more on this liquor excise policy itself, where Aam Aadmi Party has been denying those allegations. They say this is vendetta politics. This is a vilification campaign against them. These months that have passed since the ED, IT, CBI, all the central forces have been investigating the matter and have really found nothing substantial to arrest any of their netas.
True, Nabila, and this is what AAP has consistently said. They've said that if you have evidence against us, why haven't you taken us into custody? Manish Sisodia has time and again said, with every charge sheet that's come out, has said you've named some aides, but you've never directly named us. Why is that if you've got this mountain of evidence against us as well? So that's something the agencies have to answer. It hasn't, however, stopped them from moving forward with their investigation, from continuing to look into the roles of, let's say, a Kejriwal or a Manish Sisodia for that matter. The likes of Vijay Nair and several others, allegedly aides related and connected directly to Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, have been taken into custody. Their role, according to the ED and the CBI, has more or less been established. But right now, if you look at how the investigation of the Enforcement Directorate is going forward, it's clear that their focus largely has been really on where the kickbacks has gone, whether there have been any sort of, bribes that have been used, the money that was, in fact, received from this alleged scam, how it was spent, and that's why that link has gone across to Telangana. That's why that link has gone across to Andhra. That link has gone across to Goa as well. And in all of that, there's a clear AAP link according to the Enforcement Directorate, which is why you see more and more AAP leaders now being brought into the fray of the investigation. We're getting in some reports of more AAP leaders also being summoned right now by the Enforcement Directorate, but we'll confirm that with Munish in just a bit. We're still waiting also for word from Arvind Kejriwal. He hasn't reacted yet to the fact that one of his closest aide, the fact that his personal assistant now has been summoned as well, has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, we're yet to get those details, Nabila, that you asked about what really is the inside track of the questioning, what was the line of questioning. But going by the investigation, the probe by the Enforcement Directorate and how they've constantly raked up Arvind Kejriwal's name, it's very clear that they're going to be questioning what his links to Vijay Nair are, whether they can directly establish that. Where did the money go? The 100 crore alleged kickbacks that went to Vijay Nair, the 70 crores allegedly that went in the AAP Goa campaign, all of this the Enforcement Directorate is looking into because they allege that Kejriwal had a direct involvement in that.
All right, I'm going to cut across to BJP's Manoj Tiwari, who's speaking on the same. Let's cut across.
आज दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल के पीए यानी कि पर्सनल असिस्टेंट को ईडी द्वारा बुलाया गया है, उनसे पूछताछ चल रही है। क्या इसका मतलब निकल के आता है और आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए आगे किस तरीके से मुश्किलें बढ़ सकती है, यही सब सवाल लेके हम मनोज तिवारी जी के पास पहुंचे हैं। मनोज जी, एक के बाद एक समन भेजा जा रहे हैं। पहले मनीष सिसोदिया को गया था, अरविंद केजरीवाल पे भी कई सवाल उठे हैं और अब ईडी ने अरविंद केजरीवाल के पीए को बुला लिया है। क्या आपको लगता है कि घोटाले पे घोटाला किया गया है जिसकी वजह से ऐसा हो रहा है?
देखिए, हम भी हैरान हैं कि वो अरविंद केजरीवाल उनकी पार्टी जो ईमानदारी का ऐसा चोला पहन के आई थी, इंडिया अगेंस्ट करप्शन, और अभी जिस दिन एक नई सुबह होती है और एक नए भ्रष्टाचार की जांच में एक नए सिरे की हमें जानकारी मिलती है। मुझे भी अभी पता चला कि अब मनीष सिसोदिया, ये सत्येंद्र जैन और कौन कौन लीकर घोटाला, स्कूल घोटाला, ये सब के बीच अब ये जांच की आंच अरविंद केजरीवाल के पीए तक पहुंच गई। और ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए है कि हर बार ये आके कहते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ तो जांच हुआ था, निकला कुछ नहीं। भाई, जांच एजेंसी ये जान रही है कि ये लोग बहुत ही खतरनाक सोच के लोग हैं, बहुत फूंक फूंक के कदम रख रही है, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल के पीए का भी पूछताछ करना, उसको इसी भ्रष्टाचार में ले आना, ये लगता है कि अब तक की एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण इम्पोर्टेंट समाचार है, क्योंकि अरविंद केजरीवाल के कई ऐसे साक्ष्य मिले हैं जहां से उनकी भूमिका मास्टरमाइंड की लगती है। अब जो भी होगा हम सिर्फ ये चाहते हैं कि जांच सूक्ष्म हो, हर स्तर पे हो, कोई भी निर्दोष ना फंसे, लेकिन एक जो दोषी हो वो कहीं बच के ना निकल सके, और हम इस कदम का स्वागत करते हैं।
कदम का स्वागत किया जा रहा है मनोज तिवारी द्वारा, और उनका कहना है कि रोज नए नए घोटाले जो हैं सामने आते हैं, और अब ये जांच की आंच अरविंद केजरीवाल के पीए तक पहुंच चुकी है। कैमरा पर्सन अंकित सिंह के साथ ऐश्वर्या पालीवाल आज।
All right, now certainly there's more trouble that's brewing for the Aam Aadmi Party as the Ministry of Home Affairs has given its nod to prosecute Manish Sisodia. The Delhi Deputy Chief Minister is now accused of heading the feedback unit that allegedly spied on political opponents. Yet another controversy that's looming on the Aam Aadmi Party Neta. Let's have a look.
Yet another setback for Arvind Kejriwal. His most trusted lieutenant in the Delhi government and the Aam Aadmi Party, Manish Sisodia, is again on the radar of the central investigative agencies. The Ministry of Home Affairs has sanctioned to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia in an alleged snooping case after a CBI request was approved by Delhi LG VK Saxena. The CBI sought sanctions to register an FIR against Sisodia, who heads the Vigilance Department of the Delhi government. The feedback unit was created under this department in 2015 after Aam Aadmi Party came to power in Delhi. The Deputy Chief Minister is accused of running the feedback unit to snoop on the opposition. Aam Aadmi leaders are also accused of siphoning government funds for the spying mission. Sisodia has called the case against him false and asserted that it is a sign of BJP's weakness. Taking a jibe at the Saffron Party, he said Aam Aadmi Party's growth is unnerving the BJP.
पेगासस किसने खरीदा था? केंद्र सरकार ने खरीदा था। वहाँ बताए केंद्र सरकार की वो जजों की, पत्रकारों की, राजनेताओं की जासूसी क्यों करा रही थी? केंद्र सरकार को बताना पड़ेगा।
जो 700 लोगों की जासूसी कर रहे हैं, गोपनीय डेटा इकट्ठा करके पता नहीं किसको किसको शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा अपराध करने वालों को सजा तो होनी चाहिए। हम कह रहे हैं कि जांच कड़ी हो, और अगर दोषी हैं तो चाहे वो कोई भी हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी क्यों न हो या कोई मनोज तिवारी क्यों न हो, जो दोषी है उसको सजा होनी चाहिए।
In the last 8 years, with all their agencies, has the Bharatiya Janata Party been able to present even evidence of 1 rupee of corruption by Aam Aadmi Party? Of course they haven't. They have not been able to present evidence of corruption in 200 cases, so it is very clear even in the 201st, nothing is going to be there.
They have always played the victimhood card. This victimhood card won't do. They must come and answer the questions, because the victimhood card has proven to be a fake card. None of the cases have been quashed by the courts of law, and today they must answer the questions that are being posed to them, not try to run away from them.
First liquor policy and now Snoopgate. The cup of vows for Sisodia only seems to be spilling over. With Ram Koinkar and Amit Bhardwaj in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, on that note, we're going to wrap this bulletin. Coming back with news and updates on the other side. You could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Stay with us.
India Today Tourism Survey and Awards discovers the best destinations, spreading from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and awarding the best destination in 9 categories. Watch the live webcast on indiatoday.in from 10:30 am onwards on 24th February 2023.
जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है।
Thank Mr. Puri.
I thank you for giving me the chance to address you.
Terrorism now a global issue.
The First Lady position is so unusual.
Never in my career did I ever see that love and affection in any other country than we saw in India in 79.
Pakistan has been responsible chronically for association with sponsorship of terrorist groups.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
सोल्जर ये नहीं पूछता देश ने उसके लिए क्या किया, पूछता है वो देश के लिए क्या कर सकता है.
Shah Rukh Khan has yet again rewritten box office records with Pathaan. The spy thriller from the Yash Raj basket breached the 1,000 crore mark on Tuesday. The film continues to maintain a strong hold in the fourth week running.
हमने मोहब्बत करनी है, हमने मोहब्बत की है, इस दिल के अलावा किसी से भी ना हमने इजाजत ली है.
According to data from industry tracker Sacknil Technologies, the film clocked in 1.10 crores on its fourth Tuesday, pushing the total collection in India to 518 crores.
हमने हिफाजत की है.
Crushing several records since its release, Pathaan has gone ahead and earned 500 crores in 28 days. The SRK starrer record smasher film is on track to chase Bahubali 2's records now. The film is also the fifth Indian movie to have breached the 1,000 crore mark worldwide, without being released in China.
जो पठान मेरी जान महफिल ही लुट जाए, दे दे जो जुबान मेरी जान उस पे पर मिट जाए.
Pathaan's explosive performance creates grounds for celebration as the king returned to starring roles after more than 4 years. Directed by Siddharth Anand, YRF's Spyverse film features Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika Padukone, John Abraham, Manish Wadhwa, Dimple Kapadia and Ashutosh Rana in pivotal roles. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
All right, I'm cutting across to Aam Aadmi Party office right outside. You have huge protests by the BJP condemning the Aam Aadmi Party's alleged gundagiri. Amit Bharadwaj, who is joining us live right outside. Amit, do take us through this chaos that we see outside the Aam Aadmi Party office in Delhi. What's the real cause of this showdown?
Well, Nabila, you know, the visuals that are coming from Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Marg is quite dramatic. You have very aggressive BJP karyakartas, BJP workers who are protesting on the streets right now on Deen Dayal Dayal Upadhyaya Marg, and they are not ready to listen to the police who have put up barricades out here. And in fact, they had tumbled down this particular barricade that you are seeing the para forces standing upon. And constantly there are efforts being made by these BJP workers to break down the barricades. Virendra Sachdeva, Pravesh Verma, Manoj Tiwari, all these big leaders from Delhi BJP are leading the protest, and they are seeking Manish Sisodia's resignation in this Congate case. So clearly, now the BJP, which has staged one protest nearly, 2 weeks back over the same issue, demanding that Manish Sisodia should resign from his post because the feedback unit, the alleged snooping unit, was formed under his department, the portfolio which was under his ministry. And now the second protest is being done by the Delhi BJP workers out here after a day after the MHA had given its sanction to prosecute Manish Sisodia in the feedback unit case, in the Snoopgate case. And now that the Central Bureau of Investigation has gotten sanction from the Union Home Ministry to prosecute Mr. Sisodia, you have BJP Karyakartas, BJP workers who are even more aggressive today and are demanding Manish Sisodia's resignation. इतनी ज़्यादा aggressive तरीके से आप लोग protest कर रहे हैं, मनीष सिसोदिया का इस्तीफा मांग रहे हैं, लेकिन सीबीआई तो जांच इस पे कर ही रही है ना।
देखिएगा, बहुत सिंपल सी बात है, सड़क से लेके संसद तक हमको आम आदमी पार्टी के कृत्य को उजागर करना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो शराब घोटाला है, चाहे शिक्षा घोटाला है और चाहे वो जासूसी कांड है। अब देखिएगा ना, इनके कार्य करने की प्रणाली देखिए आप कि 2015 में जब थंपिंग मेजोरिटी के साथ एक पार्टी आती है तो मन में एक निश्चय होता है कि जिन लोगों ने हमें जिताया है अब हम उनके लिए कुछ भला करेंगे। ये भला क्या करते हैं? फीडबैक यूनिट की आड़ में, यानी भेड़ की खाल में भेड़िए वाला काम, हाथी के दांत खाने के और दिखाने के और फीडबैक यूनिट क्रिएट करते हैं और वो फीडबैक यूनिट से पॉलिटिकल स्नूपिंग कराने का प्रयास करते हैं, चाहे वो मीडिया पे हो, पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट्स पे हो। इसलिए इनको उजागर करने के लिए तो हमको सड़क पे आना ही होगा।
क्यों मनीष सिसोदिया का?
देखिए, मनीष सिसोदिया का इस्तीफा इसलिए मांग रहे हैं क्योंकि बहुत एक बुनियादी बात है कि ये जो फीडबैक यूनिट था ये दिल्ली विजिलेंस डिपार्टमेंट का पार्ट बनाया गया था और दिल्ली विजिलेंस डिपार्टमेंट को हेड कर रहे थे मनीष सिसोदिया जी। और ऑलरेडी मनीष सिसोदिया जी को ये बात पता होनी चाहिए कि जितनी भी फाइलें हैं वो एलजी को रूट होती हैं, लेकिन पर्पसली सीएम ऑफिस को सारी रूट की गई सिर्फ इसलिए कि इनके ऊपर कोई एक्शन करना नहीं था उन 700 रिपोर्ट्स के ऊपर। मकसद था
right there, you heard the BJP workers saying that because Mr. Sisodia held the portfolio, he should be. And here are the visuals, Nabila. The visuals, these are dramatic visuals coming from the national capital, where on one side the BJP workers are trying to breach the barricades, and on the other side they are being thrown back by the Delhi police Jawans and the CRP Jawans who are standing on the other side of the barricades. So clearly BJP workers are making their best attempts, trying their best attempts to breach the barricades. First they tried to break these barricades. When they failed, now they're climbing the barricades which have been put in place to stop them. And constant efforts are being done by the BJP workers to make sure that they are able to breach the barricade. However, it seems that they are getting a little success out here. The first barricade has been broken by the BJP workers. Now they are heading towards the second barricade. You can see the action happening in the national capital, where 2 weeks back the BJP workers had held a protest on the same issue, alleging that the Aam Aadmi Party formed a snooping unit on this case, and seeking Manish Sisodia's resignation. And now that the MHA has registered, given a sanction to prosecute Manish Sisodia in the Snoopgate case, what is happening is that the morale of the BJP workers have been boosted, and that is why you can see how the barricades are being broken, and these BJP workers are now heading towards the other end of the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Marg, where the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters is located. In fact, there is a second layer of barricade which has been put in place by Delhi police to make sure that these BJP workers do not get to, reach the Aam Aadmi Party office. And the security has been beefed up today also because Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal is going to, hold a mega show of strength of sorts today at the party headquarters. And right there, the other side of the barricade has been broken as well. Now the BJP's vehicle on which there are senior leaders of the BJP are, have boarded it. Manoj Tiwari, you can see, all these vehicles are also crossing and they are now heading towards Aam Aadmi Party's national headquarters. So a mega show of strength by the Bharatiya Janata Party in the national capital, where this is the second layer of a round of confrontation between Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. We know for a matter of fact as to how things turned ugly in the MCD, where the standing committee election has been halted because of the kind of ruckus which happened between the AAP councillors and the BJP councillors. There were feast fights between the AAP councillors, BJP councillors, slaps being hurled at each other, abuses in the house, mic being broken, and now you have a mega show of strength by the BJP workers, BJP netas, and out here you can see how the streets of Delhi has been converted into a war path of sorts between the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, and these workers of the BJP are now trying to break the second barricade and trying to reach the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. ये जो अटेम्प्ट आप लोग कर रहे हैं बैरिकेड तोड़ के आगे बढ़ने की, ये जिद क्यों है आम आदमी पार्टी के दफ्तर तक पहुंचने की?
देखिए, जो जासूसी कांड अभी सिसोदिया जी ने किया है और लगातार दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री केजरीवाल द्वारा दिल्ली में जो भ्रष्टाचार हो रहा है उसके खिलाफ ये धरना दिया जा रहा है। हमारी मांग है कि सिसोदिया जी को जल्द से जल्द गिरफ्तार किया जाए और उनको इस्तीफा दे दे। जिस प्रकार देखा जाए उनका ऑलरेडी एक मंत्री जेल में बैठा है, उसका भी अभी तक इस्तीफा नहीं लिया है, तो हमारी मांग यही है कि उनको इस्तीफा दिया जाए।
So that's the word on the ground. You could see many of these BJP workers are also holding placards like this one, targeting the Aam Aadmi Party over the alleged Snoopgate. You have BJP workers, trying to break the second line of barricades, and the Aam Aadmi and the senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party are, leading this protest. This is very important to note, Nabila, that usually we do see in the national capital that whenever there is a protest of sorts by the BJP's state unit, the senior leaders of the party are not always available. But today, the pictures that are coming from ground zero are different. You have Manoj Tiwari, Pravesh Verma, Vijay Jolly, all these senior leaders from the state unit, right there leading the protest and heading towards the Aam Aadmi Party office. Virendra Sachdeva is the working president who is right there, leading the protest himself. And what is the difference that we are seeing is that the aggressive nature of the BJP workers, the way they are heading this protest, they are trying to break the second line of barricade put up by the Delhi police. And out here, leading the protest. वीरेंद्र जी, ये प्रोटेस्ट आप लोग उस समय कर रहे हैं, 10 दिन पहले भी आपने प्रोटेस्ट किया है, FIR को सैंक्शन मिल गया है, फिर इस तरह से एग्रेसिव तरीके से प्रोटेस्ट क्यों?
देखिए, जब जांच की अनुमति मिल गई है तो इनको पद पे रहने का अधिकार नहीं है, क्योंकि इस पद पे रह के जांच को प्रभावित कर सकते हैं। इसलिए हम कह रहे हैं मनीष सिसोदिया इस्तीफा दो।
CBI तो केंद्र सरकार के पास है, तो कैसे जांच?
देखिए, न्यायिक एजेंसी अपना काम कर रही है, न्यायिक एजेंसी अपना काम करेगी। पद पर ना रहे।
मनोज तिवारी is also here. जब तक जांच पूरी नहीं होती है, इस्तीफा दे दिया जाए. This is the demand that remains.
Yes, exactly what president said.
आप कह रहे थे जांच की प्रक्रिया होनी चाहिए, डायरेक्ट एक्शन इस तरह से नहीं होना चाहिए. Why this strong stance today? इतना rigid stance?
भाई, ये अपराधी लोग हैं, ये लगातार भ्रष्टाचार भी कर रहे हैं, अनाचार भी कर रहे हैं और ऊपर से राइट टू प्राइवेसी का हनन कर रहे हैं। और हमें शंका है कि ये देश के गोपनीय समाचारों को, गोपनीय सूचनाओं को देश विरोधियों को शेयर कर रहे हैं। इसलिए ऐसे लोगों को अपने पद पे बने रहने का तब तक अधिकार नहीं है जब तक इस जांच की रिपोर्ट ना आए।
जो नगर निगम है वहां पे भी बड़े अगली सीन्स दिखाई दिए, मुक्काबाजी, गाली गलौज सब कुछ हुआ, जो बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है।
मारपीट हुई है। ऐसे लोगों को कानूनन भी सजा मिलनी चाहिए और जनता की अदालत में।
So there you can hear, the senior leaders of the Delhi BJP are protesting, leading the protest. Manoj Tiwari himself seeking the resignation of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. And these are dramatic visuals coming from ground zero. Nabila, back to you.
All right, really, at this point, the commotion there only increasing as we see BJP netas condemning the Aam Aadmi Party over the alleged Snoopgate allegations leveled against AAP, Manish Sisodia, Arvind Kejriwal, that they started this feedback unit to snoop into other politicians of the opposition parties. And this now taken up by the CBI has been given a nod by the centre as well to probe what kind of intentions were before they actually set up this FBU unit, and really what came out of that FBU unit. We're going to continue tracking those developments. For now, a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
India Today Tourism Survey and Awards discovers the best destinations, spreading from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and awarding the best destination in 9 categories. Watch the live webcast on indiatoday.in from 10:30 am onwards on 24th February 2023.
Ranbir Kapoor is currently gearing up for the release of his upcoming film, Tu Jhooti Main Makkar. Recently, the actor was spotted heading out of Mumbai when a paparazzi danced to the tune of a song from his next and left the actor impressed. The songs Tere Pyar Mein and Pyar Hota Kai Baar Hai from this Love Ranjan's romantic movie have become huge hits. Co-starring Shraddha Kapoor, Tu Jhooti Main Makkar is set to release on March 8th. The film also stars comedian Anubhav Singh Bassi and Dimple Kapadia.
नमस्ते पंडित जी, कुंडलियाँ मिलवानी थी।
अभी जल्दी क्या है? बुरा बन के ब्रेकअप तो कोई भी कर सकता है। खूबसूरत ब्रेकअप वो होता है जिसमें सामने वाले को, उसके घर वालों को, रिश्तेदारों को, सबको लगे कि लड़की तो बहुत प्यारी है, हमारे लड़के में ही खोट है।
रोक तो ले भाई, क्या कर रहा है? एक बार तो रोक। मुझे उद्देश्य नहीं दिख रहा यार तेरी जिंदगी का। अब क्या करेगा जी के? भैंस की आंख, हमें सच्चा प्यार हो गया और ये मजे ले रही है। छोटी कहीं की कोई कदर ही नहीं रह गई दुनिया में प्यार की। मेरा तो दिल कर रहा है कूद के मर जाऊं। इतने फ्रिवलेस हो चुके लोग। छी।
Ranbir was last seen in Ayan Mukherjee's Brahmastra alongside his wife and actor Alia Bhatt. The actor has 2 more parts lined up in this trilogy. The mythological drama was highly praised for its VFX.
जल, वायु, अग्नि, प्राचीन काल से हमारे बीच कुछ ऐसी शक्तियां हैं जो अस्त्रों में भरी हुई हैं। ये कहानी है इन सारे अस्त्रों के देवता की, ब्रह्मास्त्र।
The snatch look is where you've removed the fat from here, where you have that hollow. This brow is super arched, usually either threads or surgically, that you get that lift. and you have that gentle cheekbone with that cheekbone right here. So it's snatched, right? It's like a ponytail lift, but with a cheekbone and a hollow.
We can inject fillers in what we call face sculpturing. So it's a combination of fillers where we inject on the cheeks, where we inject on the jawline, as well we can inject Botox or botulinum toxin in the lower face to make the face slimmer. And sometimes when there is saggy skin, we can as well add to that procedure injecting thread or putting thread in the face to lift the saggy skin. Now, this combination of technique, which is Botox, fillers, and threads, will help have more the defined look and natural look without going to surgery.
Buccal fat removal is surely not new, but the look that it gives has started becoming a celebrity go-to. It is indeed here to stay, with many Bollywood and Hollywood celebrities suddenly wanting that well-chiseled look. But then, which one is recommended by the experts? The fuller face with the fillers or the chiseled snatch look?
There's so many different kinds of fillers out there, and you can use it to make more chiseled and to create structure. So you have to have a good grasp of all the different kinds of fillers, but you can use them in so many different artistic and magical ways. So I am able to create structure, I am able to create strength and a chiseled look with fillers.
Gift well with sleep well.
Very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. The headlines. First, trouble for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal as the ED grills his personal assistant in connection with the Delhi Liquorgate scandal. After multiple disruptions of standing panel voting, MCD House has been adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Mayor hints at action against the BJP councillors. And big relief for E. Palaniswamy. The top court upholds single leadership in the AIDMK, gives nod for AIDMK general body meeting, refuses to look into OPS's plea. And Delhi MCD Dangal stoops to new low with ugly slapgate inside the Delhi Civic Centre. Aam Aadmi Party councillor there slaps BJP's Pramod Gupta. BJP now calling it real proof of Aam Aadmi Party's gundagiri. And 2 days after Pawan Khera allegedly insulted Prime Minister Modi's father, the police has now deplaned the Congress neta while he was boarding a flight to Raipur. Another young Neta resigns. Freedom icon Rajaji's great-grandson C.R. Kesavan quits the Congress, says Congress forced him to. All right, here's a big update on Pawan Khera, who's allegedly been detained by the Delhi police there. According to Congress sources, Delhi police is trying to deplane Pawan Khera. He was about to board the Indigo flight to Raipur. And according to Delhi police sources, now the information that we get is that Pawan Khera was not stopped by them, but instead the Assam police. Pawan Khera claims, I was told there is a problem with your luggage, even though I only have one handbag. When I came down from the flight, it was told that you cannot go. Then it was said, DCP will meet you. I've been waiting for a long time. There is no trace of rules, laws or reasoning here. Pawan Khera saying, in fact, exactly the experience that he faced. Let me cut across to what he said.
क्या बात मुझे भी नहीं मालूम मुझे कहा गया आपका सामान दिखवाना है मैंने कहा मेरे पास कोई सामान है ही नहीं हैंडबैग है मुझे नहीं इतना आप आइए नीचे आया तो कहा कि आप नहीं जा सकते अभी डीसीपी आएंगे आपसे मुझे खुद नहीं मालूम पिछले 20 मिनट से डीसीपी की इंतजार कर रहे हैं क्या नियम है क्या कानून है क्यों मुझे रोका जा रहा है मुझे नहीं मालूम ऐसे एयरपोर्ट पे बिना किसी वजह के तो रोकना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है जब तक कोई तो नहीं समझ पा रहा इंतजार ही कर रहा हूँ डीसीपी साहब आ जाए फिर देखिए
ये फ्लाइट कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन जो 85वां कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन हो रहा है वहां के लिए अग्रसर थी। जब हम लोग चलने वाले थे तभी पता चला कि पवन खेड़ा जी को ये कहकर उतारा गया कि आपके बैग का कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया, जबकि उनका कोई चेक इन बैग भी नहीं था। आपने पहले हमारे महाधिवेशन में व्यवधान डालना चाहा, वहां पर ईडी रेड कराकर, अब आप हमारे कुलीग को यहाँ पर डिप्लेन कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत काम किया है जिसके लिए ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है, किन धाराओं के अंतर्गत की जा रही है, ये बताना पड़ेगा। और जब तक ये हवाई जहाज हम सबको लेकर, इंक्लूडिंग पवन जी को लेकर नहीं उड़ता है, हम सब यहीं खड़े रहेंगे और ये तानाशाही कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं है।
All right, you heard that from the Congress Neta Supriya Srinath on Pawan Khera being detained, saying there is absolutely no law and order, no reasoning, no response coming in on why exactly he was deboarded. Pawan Khera also spoke right after. He said that he was asked to leave the flight, or rather step down, because there was a problem with his luggage. And then when he got off, they said you cannot board the flight. So basically they misled him and asked him to get off the plane, claiming that his luggage had a problem. And soon after he got off, the cops there said the DCP will meet you, you cannot board the flight. Let me cut across to Randeep Surjewala speaking on the same.
शर्मा ने दिया है। हेमंतो बिस्वा शर्मा कोई भगवान है जो मुजबानी ऑर्डर पास कर देगा? प्रोडक्शन वारंट दीजिए, अरेस्ट ऑर्डर दे दीजिए। हमने कहा प्रोडक्शन वारंट भी नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं, आप लिख कर दीजिए असम पुलिस पवन खेड़ा को गिरफ्तार करना चाहती है, ले जाइए, हम कानून की अनुपालना करेंगे। आप पूरे प्लेन को आपने जबरदस्ती रोक रखा है, आप पवन खेड़ा को रोके हुए हैं। इससे ज़्यादा गैर कानूनी की बात, देश की राजधानी में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर खुद अगर पुलिस करवा रही है तो इस देश में ना प्रजातंत्र बचेगा और ना कोई कानून का तंत्र बचेगा।
केस क्या है इसके बारे में?
ना वो केस बता रहे, ना वो FIR बता रहे, ना वो पुलिस स्टेशन बता रहे, ना वो प्रोडक्शन वारंट मजिस्ट्रेट का दे रहे, ना वो गिरफ्तारी का ऑर्डर दे रहे। तो क्या है, हमें क्यों रोक रखा है? आप किसी जहाज को चलते हुए को ऐसे कैसे रोक सकते हैं? अगर पुलिस ही कानून में व्यवधान डालेगी तो कानून की रक्षा कौन करेगा? मोदी जी का अहंकार अब सब सीमाएं पार कर चुका है और वो कांग्रेस के महाअधिवेशन में लगातार झूठे प्रपंच और अड़ंगे लगा रहे हैं। कभी हमारे लोगों पर ईडी की रेड करते हैं, कभी CBI भेजते हैं। अब पूरे के पूरे जहाज को रोक लिया है और जबरदस्ती रोक के बैठे।
क्या इलीगल डिटेंशन करना चाहती है दिल्ली पुलिस पवन खेड़ा का?
बिल्कुल, ये गैर कानूनी नाजायज गिरफ्तारी करना चाहते हैं। हमने कहा हम कोऑपरेट करेंगे, आप ले जाइए, आप 2 लाइन लिख कर दीजिए कि हम गिरफ्तार करना चाहते हैं। दिल्ली पुलिस कहती है हमारे पास तो कोई केस ही नहीं है। हमने कहा किसके पास केस है? तो बोले असम पुलिस के पास है। तो असम पुलिस की FIR दीजिए, बोले वो भी नहीं है। तो हमने कहा कोई प्रोडक्शन वारंट होगा मैजिस्ट्रेट का गिरफ्तारी का, वो
उड़ान संख्या 04 है 6C पे वो चलने आए थे, रायपुर को जाना है। आप कांग्रेस के अधिवेशन में पहुंच के क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
जो आप कर रहे हैं, माफ कीजिए, वो इलीगल नहीं। आप किसी को फिजिकली उठाकर बगैर ऑर्डर के
करने के बाद ऑर्डर ऐसा नहीं है। आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप
को दे दीजिए बस। Immediately we will hand him over in 1 second. Let's not commit illegality. दिल्ली पुलिस जो है वो तो कभी इलीगैलिटी नहीं करेगी, मुझे विश्वास है आप पर। तो आप इलीगैलिटी मत करिए प्लीज।
आपको ही पता है कि ये
जो आप कर रहे हैं, जो आप कर रहे हैं, माफ कीजिए, वो इलीगल नहीं। आप किसी को फिजिकली उठाकर बगैर ऑर्डर के
करने के बाद ऑर्डर ऐसा नहीं है। आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप
को दे दीजिए बस। Immediately we will hand him over in 1 second. Let's not commit illegality. दिल्ली पुलिस जो है वो तो कभी इलीगैलिटी नहीं करेगी, मुझे विश्वास है आप पर। तो आप इलीगैलिटी मत करिए प्लीज।
आपको ही पता है कि ये
जो आप कर रहे हैं, जो आप कर रहे हैं, माफ कीजिए, वो इलीगल नहीं। आप किसी को फिजिकली उठाकर बगैर ऑर्डर के
करने के बाद ऑर्डर ऐसा नहीं है। आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप
को दे दीजिए बस। produce him. Immediately we will hand him over in 1 second. Let's not commit illegality. दिल्ली पुलिस जो है वो तो कभी इलीगैलिटी नहीं करेगी, मुझे विश्वास है आप पर। तो आप इलीगैलिटी में प्लीज സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ടും എന്താണ് കാരണം എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ ചോദിച്ചു. ഒരു യാത്രക്കാരനെ ഡീപ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ വ്യക്തമായിട്ടുള്ള റീസൺസ് ഉണ്ടാവണം, കാരണങ്ങളുണ്ടാവണം. ആ കാരണങ്ങൾ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ഡീപ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഞങ്ങൾ എയർലൈൻ അധികാരികളോട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞ പോലീസിന്റെ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷനുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ ഞങ്ങൾ ആ കാര്യം അന്വേഷിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഡൽഹി പോലീസ് വന്ന് പറയുന്നു ആസാം പോലീസ് വന്നിട്ട് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തെ കൊണ്ടുപോകണം.
Not the Delhi police, it's the Assam police who've come here and tried to deplane us. They've got absolutely no reason to why they've asked us to step off. This is illegal.
കാരണം പറയാതെ ഒരാളെ വെറുതെ കാരണവുമില്ലാതെ ഒരാളെ പിടിച്ചു കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ അനുവദിക്കുന്ന പ്രശ്നമില്ല.
There you have the conversation there. We're bringing to you clips of Congress netas with the cops right outside the plane, outside the Indigo flight, having an intense, heated argument, a conversation that's risen to an argument as well, as we see there. Randeep Surjewala insisting what exactly is the reason that Pawan Khera was asked to deboard. In fact, there's certainly the reason to why he's been asked to get off the plane has not been established. But from what we understand here is that Pawan Khera had spoken about Narendra Modi, or rather while spelling out Narendra Modi's name, he made a mistake and misspelt Narendra Modi, and that it appears has led to a backlash where complaints were filed, BJP accusing Pawan Khera of insulting Narendra Modi and his father. And that could be the real reason to why Pawan Khera now, before he heads to Raipur, has been deboarded. I'm going to cut back to what exactly Pawan Khera had said a few days ago that may have led to this controversy.
जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम? गौतम दास है दामोदर दास सॉरी। जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम? गौतम दास है दामोदर दास सॉरी।
Well, there you have it. Pawan Khera's comment that may have really irked the BJP to such an extent where it appears that a complaint has been filed in Assam, and Assam police has now reached the Delhi airport to deplane Pawan Khera, the man who is really the face of the Congress when it comes to political debates. He's a spokesperson of the Congress party and has made a mistake while spelling out Narendra Modi's name. He calls Narendra Modi Narendra Gautam Das Modi and then corrects himself. Even though his colleague right beside him also corrected him. Then he goes on to pretend like he was confused. Of course, he says it was a mistake. That's what Pawan Khera says, that it was a mistake. He was confused on Narendra Modi's middle name. But of course, his apologies there hasn't been taken, it's not been accepted rather, at least from that's what we gather here, considering that the police have insisted that he be deplaned from that Indigo flight, which was headed to Raipur, where Pawan Khera was wanting to fly. Supriya, of course, Supriya Srinath also, the Congress neta, has spoken on this. Let's listen in.
आप किसी को फिजिकली उठाकर बगैर ऑर्डर के नहीं है।
ये फ्लाइट कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन जो 85वां कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन हो रहा है वहाँ के लिए अग्रसर थी। जब हम लोग चलने वाले थे तभी पता चला कि पवन खेड़ा जी को ये कहकर उतारा गया कि आपके बैग का कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया, जबकि उनका कोई चेक इन बैग भी नहीं था। आपने पहले हमारे महाधिवेशन में व्यवधान डालना चाहा, वहाँ पर ईडी रेड कराकर, अब आप हमारे कुलीग को यहाँ पर डीप्लेन कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत काम किया है जिसके लिए ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है, किन धाराओं के अंतर्गत की जा रही है, ये बताना पड़ेगा। और जब तक ये हवाई जहाज हम सबको लेकर, इंक्लूडिंग पवन जी को लेकर नहीं उड़ता है, हम सब यहीं खड़े रहेंगे और ये तानाशाही कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं है।
Okay, and now our correspondent Supriya Bharadwaj joining us live. Supriya, this is of course come as a huge embarrassment, but of course the Congress party now accusing the BJP of dictatorship, saying this was a mistake that Pawan Khera had made. He misspelled Narendra Modi's name, and that's the punishment that Pawan Khera faces. He is about to board a plane going to Raipur. He is boarded, and while he's seated inside the flight, the crew, we believe, has asked him to step off, claiming that his bag, his luggage has a problem. And then when he steps off the plane, and then he's told that he can't board the plane and that the DCP will meet him. The cops are going to be addressing him. He waited for quite a long while, and now we finally see, since the media picked it up, we see that the cops have landed there, and intense arguments and conversations with the Congress netas, including Randeep Surjewala. What exactly is the reason? Is this really the complaint that was filed on Pawan Khera for allegedly mocking at Narendra Modi and his father that's led to him being deplaned?
Well, Nabila, as far as this entire matter is concerned, right now we are in Raipur, and just after our flight landed, we were expecting that this second flight in which Pawan Khera and other senior leaders of Congress party are there, they are supposed to land here. However, what we are seeing right now is the Delhi airport tarmac. The Indigo flight hasn't taken off from there. The Congress top leaders as well as the workers are sitting there and staging the protest. There were heated arguments between them and the cops over there at the Delhi airport itself. Congress party is alleging that so far earlier the information was that there's some FIR in UP. But then they instance came that there is some FIR in Assam. Now they are saying that the police has to show us as to under which order, under which capacity they are trying to detain Pawan Khera, and for what? Because he was just he was in the plane when he was deplaned, and along with him, all the top leaders also came down to see as to what exactly is going on. On the other hand, Congress party has gone all out, Nabila, and slamming the central government. They are saying that BJP and central government are actually on the back foot. They are rattled by Bharat Jodo Yatra, and now it's a session. They said earlier there were ED raids in Raipur, and second on the leaders. And then now this, what they are saying that this is happening, this is because they are saying the government is acting on the back foot. Now, I would like to quote what exactly Randeep Singh Surjewala has said. He said the police told us that the Assam police has registered an FIR, but the police does not have any written order as far as the arrest is concerned. At the same time, also, we are seeing that Jairam Ramesh and senior leaders are coming out and saying that this is not short, this is nothing short of a huge blow to the democracy. This is what Mr. Jairam Ramesh has said, and I quote, "Freedom of speech is slowly weakening in India, but freedom of speech is fast becoming extinct." My colleague Pawan Khera was deplaned from a Raipur-bound flight after ED days, another attempt to derail Congress plenary. Mother of democracy, India is the right acronym for him. So the Congress party is saying that this is nothing. All these actions which have been taken earlier, the ED days, and now an attempt to detain Pawan Khera is nothing short of creating a khalal. As I already mentioned, some of the Congress leaders who were there in Delhi airport are saying that this is nothing short of an attempt to derail the Congress party's AICC plenary session. It is the 85th plenary session which will take place from tomorrow onwards in Raipur. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge is expected to land around 3:30 p.m. And what we are hearing is that Congress is going to hold a press conference in Raipur around 3:30 p.m. and the entire drama, entire saga is taking place at the Delhi airport, especially near that Indigo flight, where the Congress leaders are saying that they will let the flight go till the time Pawan Khera doesn't go along with them. And what we are witnessing is stormy exchange of words between the police as well as that of the Congress leaders. They are sitting there protesting near the plane. We saw as to how they sat on the floor itself and were protesting and raising slogans against the central government and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So Congress leaders are saying that first and foremost, tell us what exactly is the reason why you are trying to detain him and detain him. On the other hand, they are also maintaining topmost leaders of the Congress party that so far the government has given any arrest. So far the government hasn't, the police hasn't shown them any arrest warrant. At the same time, also they're saying that it's being done because the government, the BJP, is on the back foot as far as the success of Bharat Jodo Yatra and the speech of Rahul Gandhi in Lok Sabha is concerned.
Bhupesh Baghel, Congress Neta, is also reacting to the same. Let me cut across to his reaction there.
सर, कल भी चर्चा कर रहे थे, बहुत दिनों से तैयारी में लगे हुए थे, लेकिन जो मेहमान आने वाले थे जिनके लिए आप पलके सजाए बैठे हुए थे कि आएंगे, उनकी मेहमान नवाजी करेंगे, सारी चर्चाएं होंगी कांग्रेस को लेकर, उन्हीं को रोक दिया जा रहा है सर। पुलिस पहुंच जा रही है फ्लाइट में।
देखिए, एक तरफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो केंद्र सरकार है वो राज्य में हमको डिस्टर्ब कर रही है कि हम ठीक से आयोजन ना कर पाए। इसके लिए तमाम हमारे जो कार्यकर्ता हैं, पार्टी के पदाधिकारी हैं, उसके घर में रेड डाला गया। सरकार को डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए 3 कार्यालय में कल फिर से रेड डाला गया। अभी तक के उनकी जांच चल रही है। वो अधिकारी कर्मचारी किस हालत में है, ये मेरे लिए बड़ी चिंता की बात है। दूसरी बात यह है कि जो हमारे मेहमान आ रहे हैं, जो प्रवक्ता हैं, उसको रोका जा रहा है। और ऐसा कोई बड़ा अपराध नहीं है जिसके कारण से उसको प्लेन से उतारा जाए क्योंकि उद्देश्य से भाग रहे, ऐसी कोई स्थिति नहीं है। इतना बड़ा कोई अपराधी नहीं पवन खेरा जी, वेल नोन पर्सनालिटी हैं, रोज मीडिया में आते हैं। तो जिसको कोई ना जानता हो वो छुप जाए, ऐसी कोई ऐसी शख्सियत भी नहीं है। लेकिन उसको वहां से प्लेन से उतारा जाना, इसका मतलब ये है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस महाधिवेशन से बेहद डरी हुई है। इसी किसी न किसी माध्यम से इसको डिस्टर्ब करना चाहती है, असफल करना चाहती है। लेकिन मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता और आयोजन समिति के सब साथी इससे और मजबूती के साथ उसमें डटे हुए हैं। और देश भर के जो कार्यकर्ताओं के जो संदेश आ रहे हैं वो यही है कि यह महाधिवेशन सफल होकर रहेगी।
सर, प्रधानमंत्री जी के पिताजी के बारे में उन्हें कुछ शब्द कहे, लेकिन ऐसे तो सर राहुल जी के बारे में, कभी सोनिया जी के बारे में, ऐसे तो बीजेपी की तरफ से तो कई ऐसे शब्द आए।
ये इतना बड़ा अपराध तो नहीं है कि आप प्लेन से उतार लें। और जहां तक कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग शुरुआत तो इन्होंने की। सोनिया जी के बारे में पता नहीं क्या क्या कहा और राहुल जी के बारे में क्या क्या नहीं कहा, हमारे पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी के बारे में क्या क्या नहीं कहा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की यहाँ स्थानीय के लोग, स्थानीय जो इनके पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री रमन सिंह, मुझे तो कुत्ता, बिल्ली, चूहा, पता नहीं क्या क्या बोले, राक्षस बोला। लेकिन हमने तो कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की। और शुरुआत तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ से हुई। यदि ये मर्यादा खुद नहीं लांघते, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्या कहा, कि अमित शाह जी ने क्या क्या, उनके राष्ट्रीय नेताओं ने क्या कहा, सारे लोगों ने हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेताओं के खिलाफ में ऐसे सदन के भीतर और सदन के बाहर भी इन लोगों ने बात कही है। तो जब शुरुआत उन्होंने कही है तो निश्चित रूप से जब सूरज की तरफ थूकेंगे तो चेहरे में ही गिरेगा। तो उसके लिए तो तैयार होना चाहिए। जब आप किसी तरफ उंगली उठाते हैं तो 3 उंगली तो अपने तरफ उठती है। और इतना बड़ा अपराध नहीं है कि आप रोक लें, मतलब उसको प्लेन से उतार लें। पहले भी कर सकते थे, बाद में भी कर सकते थे। लेकिन अभी करना, इसका मतलब ये है कि आप उसे अधिवेशन से जाने के रोकने के लिए, अधिवेशन को असफल करने के लिए सारा कवायद है, ये सारा षड्यंत्र है और ये निम्न स्तर का है।
सर, जगदलपुर में भी बीजेपी की थोड़े टाइम पहले बैठक हुई, कई बड़े नेता आते हैं। यहाँ से सरकार की तरफ से अभी तक तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं देखा गया कि उनको उनके कार्यक्रम को असफल
कभी नहीं।
मतलब किस स्तर, मतलब
देखिए, उसके जो प्रभारी है वो आए थे, वो बोले यदि भारतीय जनता पार्टी कार्यकर्ता थूक जाए तो कांग्रेस बह जाएगा। ये सब बोला गया, लेकिन हम लोगों ने तो ऐसा कुछ कहा नहीं, किया नहीं। लेकिन अब वो नया रास्ता खोज शुरुआत कर रहे हैं तो फिर दूसरे लोग भी अपनाएंगे।
All right, from what we hear, Indigo, the airline, has reacted. Indigo's first reaction coming in on this entire controversy of Congress Neta Pawan Khera being deplaned. A passenger, in fact, the statement says by Indigo, a passenger was deplaned by the police at the Delhi airport from Raipur-bound flight 6E204. Some other passengers have also decided to deboard on their own accord. We are following the advice of the concerned authorities. The flight is delayed as of now and we regret the inconvenience caused to passengers. Now, Palmi Saha joining us live on the phone line for a little more. Palmi, a quick word from you. This has, of course, caused huge inconvenience to other passengers. Indigo was bound to respond and they have. Tell us what exactly happened on that flight.
और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है। ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है। ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की। ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर, रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं। नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आप को करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं है। आप देख रहे हैं कि कैसे इस बस में पवन खेड़ा जी को और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ उन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है। ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है। ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की, ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं, नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय।
All right, I'm cutting across to Supriya Srine joining us live on the phone line. Supriya, what exactly happened? Pawan Khera has been deplaned and even a bunch of you have deboarded.
So we were on a flight to attend our 85th plenary session. There were lots of Congress leaders in that flight, including my colleague Pawan Khera. Baggage issue, he was brought down. When he found, he was told that he's being deplaned, and that's when he called me and he said he's being deplaned. Upon hearing that, we all got off.
We seem to have an audio problem there. Supriya Srine, who's speaking to India Today, explaining to us exactly what's happened. Congress, they're holding a protest right outside that Indigo flight. In fact, they're condemning this detention of Pawan Khera. And Pawan Khera was asked to deboard, but it appears that all the other Congress leaders followed suit. The bunch of the Congress netas were headed to Raipur, where they were wanting to attend a plenary session of the Congress party. And now it appears that Pawan Khera was restricted from boarding that flight, and soon after he was asked to step down, all the other Congress netas followed suit, deboarded that plane, and now are seated in protest right by the tarmac. This is what we hear. Supriya Srine, we're trying to connect with her on the phone line. There seems to be some audio glitch. One should know that they're right now at the Delhi airport and they're on the tarmac even as we speak. Paulami Saha, our correspondent, tracking the developments there and the reaction coming in from Indigo. Paulami, what really is the ruckus here? We believe that plane hasn't yet departed. Congress members protesting there. Indigo has also responded. Take us through.
That's right. Indigo has just issued a brief statement in Nabila, which basically reads: a passenger was detained by the police at the Delhi airport from Raipur-bound flight 6204. Some other passengers have also decided to deboard on their own accord. We are following the advice of the concerned authorities. The flight is delayed as of now, and we regret the inconvenience caused to other passengers. Basically, Indigo is saying the police, showed them an FIR which has been lodged against Mr. Pawan Khera. Had he got to be deboarded from the aircraft, he had in fact boarded the aircraft along with other Congress leaders, including Randeep Surjewala, K.C. Venugopal, Sukesh, Srinath and others, who were headed towards Raipur for the Congress's plenary session. And after which he was deboarded, the others deboarded on their own accord, is what Indigo says. The flight has still not departed, as we know, and we've been showing images of the rare protest that the Congress party leaders are in fact showcasing on the tarmac of Delhi airport at the moment, right outside the aircraft itself. So the aircraft has not been able to depart. It was scheduled to depart at about 11:45 a.m. In fact, in a few minutes from now, it should have actually landed in Raipur, but it hasn't yet taken off from airport. And up until now, there was moment, because the situation continues to be unpredictable, Indigo is not giving out a time in terms of when the flight can actually depart.
Well, that's absolutely tragic that the other passengers have to face the wrath. Clearly here, the commotion has led to that flight that's departing to Raipur halted, and unprecedented delays. They have no idea when that plane will take off because you have Congress netas seated in protest at that tarmac. Supriya Srinath, who's a Congress neta who just spoke to us, we've lost a connection, but she claims that Pawan Khera has been arrested, and one should remember that this is all because Pawan Khera had spoken about Narendra Modi. He misspelled Narendra Modi's name, called Narendra Modi as Narendra Gautam Das Modi. This has irked the BJP netas. There's a complaint filed against him in Assam. Assam police has ensured that he's been refrained from taking that flight. Cutting across is Supriya Srinath right on that tarmac.
ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की, ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं, नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आपको करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं हैं। आप देख रहे हैं कि कैसे इस बस में पवन खेड़ा जी को और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, इन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है? ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की, ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं, नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं।
All right, let me get across to Akshay Dongre, tracking those developments. Akshay, a quick word from you. Tell us exactly this plane was headed towards Raipur. Is that right? It was taking off to Raipur, and before the takeoff, Pawan Khera was deplaned. And now what's the situation? We believe Congress netas have hauled up that plane. They're protesting right at the tarmac. All right, we've lost his connection there, Akshay Dongre, but one should know that this is the connection, the lines at this point are quite iffy and patchy because this we're talking about the Delhi airport, and at the Delhi airport tarmac there's barely connection. That's not the best connection there, and we're finding it difficult to connect with our reporters and the Congress netas who are currently seated in Dharna. But these visuals and images that we get here are all being recorded by the Congress netas, and they're putting it out on their social media platforms, raising this concern that this is absolute high-handedness and dictatorship. That's what exactly that Supriya Srinath has said, Congress neta. We also see K.C. Venugopal, along with that Randeep Surjewala and few other Congress netas, senior leaders who are currently present there. The entire controversy erupted after Pawan Khera was just boarding that flight along with a bunch of other Congress leaders, and while he was seated on the plane, staff asked him to step down because there was allegedly they claim that there was some problem with his luggage, and when he stepped out of the plane, the cops there said he cannot board that flight and that he's been detained. And then followed suit where the other Congress netas who deboarded themselves and are now seated in protest right at the tarmac outside that plane that's headed to Raipur. Now you have the passengers as well, passengers who are already on that flight, waiting for that flight to take off, all bearing the brunt of this drama. That flight has been hauled up, it's not taken off. Unprecedented delays. Congress, of course, accusing the government of dictatorship, saying that in fact, it's very well known and understood now that Pawan Khera has a police complaint in Assam, and that complaint is with regards to his comment on Narendra Modi while speaking on, while referring to Narendra Modi. Pawan Khera had misspelled his name. He had called Narendra Modi as Gautam Das Modi and then corrected himself. Also went on to nearly apologize on his social media platform, saying it was a mistake. He was confused with Narendra Modi's middle name. But clearly hasn't been taken lightly, as we see that a complaint has been filed in Assam, and the Assam police has reached out at the Delhi airport. They've reached out to the Delhi police officials and ensured Pawan Khera really is going to be bearing the brunt of what he said. That he's now been detained. That itself shows that the police have taken the complaint absolutely seriously. An FIR has been filed on Pawan Khera for insulting Narendra Modi and his father, and that has led to Pawan Khera being deboarded from that plane. It's very likely that he will be taken in to the police station. According to Supriya Srinath, the Congress Neta, it appears that he's already been arrested. Pawan Khera has already been arrested by the Assam police. That's the latest information that we get, but no confirmation is yet. We're waiting for a confirmation. These are words of Supriya Srinath. She claims that Pawan Khera has been arrested by the Assam police, but we're waiting for a confirmation on that. All right, I'm going to take you through a quick look on this video that you see here on our screens. This is precisely the chaos that's currently ensuing at Delhi's airport, at the tarmac, right outside that Indigo flight, which is Raipur bound. You have passengers, other passengers who are currently seated on that plane there. But of course, oblivious to that fact, you have the Congress netas who are sitting in dharna calling this as dictatorship because Pawan Khera was deboarded. Now, the visuals that we see here is as of this minute, that's live coming in right from the Delhi airport, where a bunch of the Congress netas, including Supriya Srinath, including Randeep Surjewala and a whole host of other Congress netas, who themselves got off the plane after Pawan Khera was asked to leave. They've all come out, and right outside that plane on the tarmac, they are currently protesting. And this has led to that plane being hauled up. That Indigo flight that's supposed to be taking off to Raipur, that flight has now been stranded thanks to this protest. But of course, the Congress saying that this is complete dictatorship. What exactly has Pawan Khera done that he deserves to be deplaned? Of course, the police complaint has been taken seriously. As we know, the Assam police has reached the Delhi airport only to detain Pawan Khera and take him for questioning. We also believe that he's been arrested at this point. Let me cut across to Supriya Bharadwaj if we have her on the line. All right, Supriya Srinath joining us on the phone line for a little more. Okay, we believe Supriya Srinath has sent some videos responding to this chaos and what exactly has happened. Let's have a listen.
आप देख रहे हैं कि कैसे इस बस में पवन खेड़ा जी को और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ इन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है। ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है। ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की। ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं। नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आप को करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं है।
All right, Akshay Dongre, who's joining us, tracking those developments. Akshay, what chaos this is, a full drama at the Delhi airport. You have all the Congress netas seated on the tarmac, and those are the visuals that we see on our screens there. They've not allowed for that plane to take off itself. While on one hand, they claim that this is dictatorship, what Assam has done, basically the BJP government there, they've ensured that Pawan Khera is deplaned, and we believe that he's also been arrested. They call that dictatorship, but at the same time, what they're doing at the Delhi airport, not allowing that plane to take off, that's another level of high-handedness.
Well, absolutely, Nabila. In fact, we are standing outside the Terminal 1 of the Indira Gandhi International Airport. And this is the terminal from where the 6A204 Indigo flight took off from. It was going to Raipur, but as soon as Pawan Khera boarded the flight, in fact, he was inside the flight along with KC Venugopal, Randeep Singh Surjewala and other senior leaders of the Congress party. And then the Indigo officials reached out to Mr. Pawan Khera saying that he will have to be deplaned because the police has filed an FIR against him. And this is Assam police we are talking about. It's not the Delhi police that has in fact detained him. He was then shortly taken off that flight, and then he has been taken by the Assam police officials who were present here, along with Mr. Pawan Khera. Randeep Singh Surjewala also accompanied him, just to make sure that whatever legal proceedings and whatever help he needs is being provided to Mr. Pawan Khera. Now, this entire controversy began in a press conference where Mr. Pawan Khera, while he was conducting a press conference, he made a goof up. In fact, he was saying the full name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was saying Prime Minister Narendra Damodar Das Modi, but whether deliberate or intentional, whether deliberate or by mistake, he said Narendra Gautam Das Modi. Then he corrected himself, stating that Narendra Damodar Das Modi, and then again while speaking to the media personnel over there, he said but he does work of Damodar Das, which translates into slave of Gautam. He said Narendra Gautam Das Modi, Nabila. So that was the entire controversy. And then Assam police have filed an FIR. Assam police, but coming here, deplaning Mr. Pawan Khera of the flight he was going to is another level of action that's being taken by the Assam police. Clearly, this is not a common case. This is not how usually police operates. In fact, police are reaching to a level where they are going to the airport and deplaning a person to arrest him. And that too, the incident took place here in Delhi. The police have filed an FIR in Assam. So clearly, this is, according to the Congress party, this is being done at the directions of Himanta Biswa Sarma government there in Assam. And that is why Mr. Pawan Khera has been detained and he's being arrested for insulting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But we are waiting for Congress leaders to come out from the arrival of this tarmac here at the T1 Indira Gandhi International Airport. But remains to be seen that till what time are the Congress party planning to protest and what exactly is going to be their next action, because the police have already taken action. They have already arrested Mr. Khera, but remains to be seen that what exactly is Assam police looking at, what kind of case that they are building against Mr. Pawan Khera, what kind of action that they are planning, and whether they are going to take him to Assam or what exactly is going to be the modus operandi. Because a similar kind of case of police of different state coming and arresting a person also happened with the BJP. In fact, we remember Tejinder Pal Singh Bagga was arrested by Punjab police. That travelled all the way from Punjab to Delhi. Punjab police arrested Mr. Bagga, was taking Mr. Bagga to Punjab, where while en route only, Haryana police stopped the Punjab police car and then took Mr. Bagga out of the Punjab police car and then took him back to the national capital. So it's clear that police are being used by political parties, by the government in the state to settle political points here, settle political issues,
but how, what's really shocking, right? What we see here is, of course, the Congress protesting on that tarmac. They're insisting that they won't let that flight to take off itself. And from what we hear, the latest passengers have now been taken to another flight. They've been moved to another flight where they're taking off to Raipur, which means huge inconvenience caused to those passengers on that plane. Now, while that on one end, all right. Here we have Assam cops confirming that Pawan Khera has been detained. They have confirmed, and this is the official information coming in, that Assam police have indeed detained Pawan Khera. Detention has been confirmed. The team of Assam police have left to Delhi to take remand of Pawan Khera in connection with this case. Prashanta Kumar Bhuyan, IGP, and LNO, Assam police, have confirmed to us that Pawan Khera has been detained and they're going to be taking him in, arresting him rather, to question him with the case that's been filed against him, an FIR that's filed against Pawan Khera for allegedly insulting Narendra Modi. Now, these are images that we bring to you right from the tarmac. We see that Congress netas on the right-hand side of your screens that you see there, right on the tarmac of the Delhi Airport Terminal 1. They're not allowing for the flight to take off because Pawan Khera was deplaned. They claim that this is Narendra Modi's dictatorship. They ask what exactly has Pawan Khera done, that this was the punishment that he has to face. What exactly has he said? He made a mistake. It was slip of tongue. That's what Supriya Srinath says. Pawan Khera misspelling Narendra Modi's name was a mere slip of tongue. There was no intention to insult. But despite Pawan Khera apologizing, He has been detained, deplaned, and then arrested. And this was the treatment given to him despite no fault of his. This is Congress's version. While on the other hand, you had BJP, who was livid over what Pawan Khera had said just a few days ago while speaking about Narendra Modi, referring to Narendra Modi's name. He misspelt Narendra Modi's name. Whether this was intentional or a mistake, that, of course, one can only imagine or speculate. Pawan Khera, of course, claims that it was a mistake. He was confused over Narendra Modi's middle name, and that's what he said. But ultimately, for a case like this, the Assam police coming all the way to Delhi and ensuring Pawan Khera doesn't board that flight, reaching the Delhi airport, getting to the tarmac and ensuring that Pawan Khera is deplaned. This itself is unprecedented. A situation like this hardly ever seen before, where we see the police coming from another state all the way based on an FIR that's been filed on a Neta on a case like this, where Pawan Khera has misspelled the name of Narendra Modi. Now, because he's the Prime Minister, it appears that the case has been taken up really seriously and no stone unturned to ensure Pawan Khera faces punishment for what he did. This is the latest that we bring to you. Delhi airport tarmac. Congress netas there sitting in protest, calling this dictatorship, that Pawan Khera was deplaned for no fault of his. And they decide now not to move from the tarmac. They've also ensured that that plane that they were going to be taking off in also is hauled up, that the plane does not take off. Now, all those passengers have been moved from that one plane to another for their journey to Raipur. In fact, this certainly comes as huge inconvenience at this point. Pawan Khera now reacting on this.
सही वक्त पे बताएंगे, अभी रुक जाइए. अभी कुछ
किया क्या है आपको बताया गया? आपको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया, ये कुछ बताया तो होगा इन्होंने.
जी,
क्या कारण है? डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिए इन्होंने.
अभी देखते हैं. ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है.
ये लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी. FIR हुई है, पवन जी साफ कह रहे हैं. और ये देखिए यहाँ से इनको अरेस्ट गिरफ्तार करके यहाँ से ले लिया गया.
आप देखते हैं कार्रवाई चला रहे हैं. देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है. देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको.
पवन खेड़ा
वेल देयर नबीला, मिस्टर पवन खेड़ा
कोई ऑर्डर दिया सर.
आप देख सकते हैं कि रणदीप वाला और पवन
अभी यहाँ से
दिल्ली पुलिस की गाड़ी
करके
ले जाया गया है हिरासत में लेकर, और सीधे तौर पर जिस तरीके से.
All right, Akshay Dongre with us. Akshay, you've spoken to Pawan Khera. He's right, exited the Delhi airport. But Congress netas are still seated there at Delhi's tarmac, the airport's tarmac, Terminal 1. Tell us what Pawan Khera said. Where is he being taken to?
Exactly, Nabila. We spoke to Pawan Khera. He was just brought here. He has been taken by the Assam police. And when we asked what exactly is the case, he said that he will not comment because he has just been arrested. He'll consult his own lawyers and then only he'll come up with a statement. But he said one thing, that this is a long fight and it will be fought by the leaders of the Congress party as well. He said that he will be continuing this fight and he has done nothing wrong. He said it was a slip of tongue, and the kind of action that's being taken by the Assam police clearly shows a high-handedness. Now, as you were rightly mentioning that this is a case where there is clearly police outreach. Police has gone to the airport. Police has reached to the flight where Mr. Pawan Khera was. He was deplaned. He's now being taken into police detention. Now remains to be seen that what exactly is the explanation that the Assam police will come up with, because them travelling all the way from Assam to Delhi and in such a rush that he was deplaned from the aircraft while he was travelling to Raipur clearly will demand some sort of actions, because even Prime Minister has always said that he welcomes criticism, and this was as Congress leader.
All right, again Pawan Khera there, and we're going to take you to what exactly he said right outside the airport while he's being taken by the Assam police.
पवन जी ये नहीं आपका क्या कहना है?
आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई चला रहे हैं. देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है.
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है.
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी.
कौन लोग थे अंदर? कौन थे?
कोई ऑर्डर दिया सर.
आप देख सकते हैं कि रणदीप सुरजेवाला और पवन अभी यहाँ से दिल्ली पुलिस की गाड़ी
आपको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया ये कुछ बताया तो उन्होंने क्या कारण है, कोई डॉक्यूमेंट किया ना?
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है।
लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी। ये पवन जी साफ कह रहे हो। ये देखिए यहाँ से अरेस्ट कर लिया, गिरफ्तार कर दिया गया।
पवन जी ये नहीं पवन जी आपका क्या कहना है? आपका क्या कहना है?
आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई चला रहे हैं, देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है।
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी।
कौन लोग थे अंदर, कौन थे? कांग्रेस
ऑर्डर दिया सर।
All right, Pawan Khera there, who speaks right outside the Delhi Airport Terminal 1. And while that said, you have the Congress Netas still protesting on the tarmac. Is this legal? If we have Akshay Dongre with us, Akshay, would you be able to tell us if Congress Netas are still on that tarmac protesting? This kind of chaos will, of course, lead to flight delays. And we're talking about Delhi Airport, which is ideally quite busy. We know this is a political controversy that's snowballed to unprecedented proportions. It's unheard of that the police coming from one state to another, deboarding a politician over misspelling someone's name. Of course, here the someone is Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So, of course, the fault is magnified and amplified. But this kind of action on Pawan Khera, one wouldn't have imagined. But what the Congress is right now doing by blocking off that plane, not allowing that Indigo flight to take off, inconveniencing those passengers, hordes of them who have been moved from that one plane to another plane now so that they could take off to Raipur, is still on that tarmac. Really, that itself, on another hand, is illegal.
Well, Nabila, yes, the Congress leaders are still inside because it was Mr. Pawan Khera who was taken off the flight first. Now, what we are looking at essentially is Congress leaders protesting inside the airport on the tarmac. The flight which was supposed to take off at 11:45, 6E204, in which Mr. Pawan Khera and other Congress leaders were supposed to travel from Delhi to Raipur, it has been cancelled, and that has been confirmed by Indigo itself. All the other passengers, non-political passengers who were supposed to travel from Delhi to Raipur, they have been taken to another flight. Now, Indigo also cooperating on this level, where they have cancelled a flight and taken the passengers to another flight, and they have arranged another flight. That's also quite significant. But that's gonna be a good news for the passengers who have been waiting for hours on the tarmac inside the plane. The Congress leaders are still inside. Yes, you have rightly mentioned that the Congress leaders sitting on the tarmac also doesn't make any sense, because that will be obstructing the other flights and their time, and that will be causing a lot of inconvenience to the passengers. But there certainly will be political opposition, political protests once the Congress leaders start to come out, because we are here at the Terminal 1 at the arrival, and from here only all the other opposition leaders who have not taken that flight to Raipur, they will be getting out of this terminal. So we'll wait for them to come out, and we'll try to get in a word that what exactly happened by the leaders who were inside the flight along with Mr. Pawan Khera, and we'll try to find out that whether an explanation has been given by the Assam police, because while on one hand, yes, there was a mistake on the part of Mr. Pawan Khera, where he misspelled, or rather he was taking a jibe at Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But if a political opponent is in fact taking jibe at another political opponent, that doesn't constitute to a crime of this magnitude that he will be detained from the flight. Now that remains to be seen, that what exactly prompted the Assam police and not the Delhi police to take such an action. And this clearly is a case of police outreach.
Right.
While police, while there are several
what we see, Akshay, is unprecedented. We've never seen images of this kind, where you have politicians sitting on a tarmac and protesting extensively, calling out dictatorship, saying that this is Narendra Modi and his government's dictatorship. That's what the Congress has accused the BJP of. While that on one hand, on the other, Pawan Khera would have little imagined that his comment that he made, where he deliberately or mistakenly has misspelled Prime Minister Narendra Modi's name, the Assam police coming all the way from another another state to Delhi, reaching the airport, ensuring that he is deplaned, only to arrest him, is again unheard of. We have Himanshu Mishra as well. Himanshu, where exactly is Pawan Khera taken, and what are the allegations leveled against him in that FIR?
देखिए, पवन खेड़ा को सीधे एयरपोर्ट, जो डोमेस्टिक एयरपोर्ट है T1, वहां से लेकर के पुलिस की गाड़ी, ये जो आप देख रही हैं, इसी पुलिस की गाड़ी में उन्हें वहां से लेकर के ठीक ये जो पुलिस थाना डोमेस्टिक एयरपोर्ट है, यहां पर लेकर के पुलिस कुछ देर पहले ही पहुंची है और सीधे उन्हें यहां लेकर के आया गया है। इसके पहले हम आपको बता दें कि दिल्ली पुलिस से जब हमने नबीला बात करने की कोशिश की थी, तो दिल्ली पुलिस का ये कहना था कि उनके पास आसाम पुलिस की तरफ से एक रिक्वेस्ट आई थी, जिसके बाद उन्होंने पवन खेड़ा को रोका और उसके बाद फिर आसाम पुलिस भी अब यहाँ पर पहुंच गई है, जिसके बाद पवन खेड़ा को उनकी फ्लाइट बोर्ड करने से रोका जाता है, फिर उन्हें डिटेन करके पुलिस बाहर की तरफ ले आती है एयरपोर्ट से और अब उन्हें यहाँ इस थाने में लेके आते हैं। इस वक्त अगर हम बात करें तो थाने में जो एयरपोर्ट के डीसीपी के अलावा जो तमाम आला अधिकारी हैं वो भी यहाँ पर पहुंच चुके हैं। इसके पहले सिक्योरिटी भी एयरपोर्ट के बाहर और यहाँ पर काफी बढ़ा दी गई थी। आप देखिए, थाने के गेट को यहाँ पर बंद कर दिया गया है और अंदर तमाम जो आला अधिकारी हैं वो मौजूद हैं। यहाँ से एंट्री फिलहाल अब रोक दी गई है। अंदर पवन खेड़ा मौजूद है, डीसीपी एयरपोर्ट मौजूद है और तमाम जो आला अधिकारी हैं वो यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं। और जो एलिगेशन लगाए गए थे पुलिस सूत्रों की अगर हम बात करें तो जो एलिगेशन था बेसिकली वो इसको लेकर के था, जो 2 दिन पहले जब बनारस में प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के दौरान उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री के पिता के जो नाम लिया था उसको लेकर के भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं ने न सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश बल्कि आसाम और कई दूसरी जगहों पर भी पुलिस थानों में शिकायत दी थी, जिनमें से कुछ जगहों पर एफआईआर हुई थी और उसके बाद असम पुलिस संपर्क करती है दिल्ली पुलिस से। असम पुलिस के पास शायद ये इंफॉर्मेशन पहले से थी कि पवन खेड़ा और उनके कुछ और जो साथी हैं वो सभी लोग एयरपोर्ट से आज रायपुर की फ्लाइट पकड़ने वाले हैं। 11 बजे का उसकी फ्लाइट का टाइमिंग था और उसके बाद उसी वक्त दिल्ली पुलिस पहुंचती है, उन्हें रोकती है और वो जो वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है उसमें साफ दिख रहा है कि जब उन्हें रोका जाता है तो पवन खेड़ा ने दिल्ली पुलिस से ये भी कहा कि भाई किस आधार पर उन्हें रोका जा रहा है, किस तरीके का नोटिस है, क्या वजह है, कोई एफआईआर है, उन्हें गिरफ्तार किया जा रहा है, हिरासत में लिया जा रहा है। लेकिन उस वक्त दिल्ली पुलिस ने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। और अगर हम बात करें दिल्ली पुलिस की तो दिल्ली पुलिस शुरुआत से ही इस मसले पर कुछ भी कहने से बच रही है। दिल्ली पुलिस का कहना है कि चूंकि ना तो ये उनका मामला है, दूसरे स्टेट की पुलिस की तरफ से उनके पास जब रिक्वेस्ट आई थी तो उन्होंने ये कार्रवाई की है और स्टेट पुलिस जो थी वो आसाम की थी और असम पुलिस की तरफ से रिक्वेस्ट किया गया था। तो फिलहाल इस थाने में है पवन खेड़ा और पुलिस के तमाम अधिकारी। अब देखना ये होगा कि आगे इस पूरे मामले पर क्या कार्रवाई की जाती है। जी
हिमांशु हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। I'm going to cut across to Pawan Khera, who right outside the Delhi airport spoke to India today. Let's have a listen what he said.
पवन जी को
आपको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया है, बताया तो उन्होंने क्या कारण है, कोई डॉक्यूमेंट किया?
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है।
लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी। पवन जी साफ कह रहे हो कि यहाँ से अरेस्ट कर लिया, गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया।
पवन जी ये नहीं पवन जी आपका क्या कहना है? आपका क्या कहना है?
आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई ला रहे हैं, देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है।
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी।
कौन लोग थे अंदर, कौन थे? कांग्रेस
ऑर्डर दिया
आप देख सकते हैं कि
वाला और पवन अभी यहाँ से दिल्ली पुलिस की गाड़ी करके ले जाया गया है।
All right, that's Pawan Khera there saying that he is ready to face investigation. Let me tell you yet again, Congress claims that this was a slip of tongue. This is precisely the words of Supriya Srinath, the Congress spokesperson herself. Well, she spoke saying Pawan Khera has done nothing wrong. He misspelled, or it was almost a miss while he was spelling out Narendra Modi's name. It was just a slip. And because of that, an FIR filed against him and he's being deplaned. This is nothing but dictatorship. This is the version coming in from the Congress. Of course, the BJP left red-faced with what Pawan Khera had said just a few days ago while speaking on at a press conference. Pawan Khera had misspelled Narendra Modi's name itself and then went on to correct himself and then says he apologizes because he was confused. It was a genuine mistake. This is what Pawan Khera said. And at this point, an unprecedented crackdown on Pawan Khera, where the Assam police has come all the way from their state to Delhi, where they've reached the Delhi airport, ensured that he's deplaned, did not allow him to take that flight to Raipur, arrested him, and now they've taken him to the police station. He's going to be produced before court any time now. Pawan Khera, a confirmation coming in that he's been arrested. He will be produced in court shortly from now. Khera to be taken to Assam as well on transit remand. This is the information coming in, the latest, that Pawan Khera might just be taken to Assam on transit remand. This is huge developments, and this comes even as Congress netas protest on that tarmac at Terminal 1. हिमांशु मिश्रा joining us on that. हिमांशु, ये क्या पवन खेरा को असम लेके जा रहे हैं और अभी के लिए कोर्ट में उनको ले जाया जा रहा है, वो इसके बारे में कुछ बोलिए। और एक तरफ क्या कांग्रेस नेता अभी भी वो टारमैक के ऊपर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं या वो निकल गए हैं?
नहीं, देखिए, अब कोई प्रोटेस्ट अंदर एयरपोर्ट के अंदर नहीं चल रहा है। इस वक्त मैं थाने के बाहर मौजूद हूं और आपको बताऊं कि पुलिस की तरफ से आधिकारिक रूप से अभी कोई भी बयान सामने नहीं आया है। चाहे तो वो अगर हम दिल्ली पुलिस की बात करें या आसाम पुलिस की बात करें, खासतौर से उनकी गिरफ्तारी को लेकर के, लेकिन जो कांग्रेस के लीडर्स हैं वो लगातार ट्वीट कर रहे हैं और इस बात के बारे में कह रहे हैं कि पवन खेड़ा को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है। और इस वक्त की अगर हम सिचुएशन की बात करें तो अंदर पवन खेड़ा मौजूद है, तमाम जो आला अधिकारी हैं दिल्ली पुलिस के वो मौजूद है, आसाम पुलिस की टीम यहां पर पहुंच चुकी है, आसाम पुलिस भी यहां पर मौजूद है, जिनके रिक्वेस्ट पर दिल्ली पुलिस ने यह कार्रवाई करते हुए पवन खेड़ा को रोका था। सुबह 11 बजे की फ्लाइट थी और उसके पहले ही जब इंफॉर्मेशन आती है तो उसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस एक्शन लेती है और दिल्ली पुलिस उनको रोकती है। लेकिन दिल्ली पुलिस साथ साथ ये भी कहती है कि इस पूरे एक्शन से उनको सीधे उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं था। आप देखिए, अंदर जो आप देख पा रहे हैं, हम अंदर विजुअल दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं थाने के अंदर की आपको। अंदर तमाम जो पुलिसकर्मी है वो मौजूद हैं अंदर कमरे में, उनसे लगातार।
तो अभी के लिए, from what we understand, that the Congress netas have left the tarmac. They're no more inside the Terminal 1 tarmac. Their protest has ended there. But Pawan Khera has now been taken into police station. Assam police to be producing him in court shortly from now. This is what we hear. हिमांशु मिश्रा, who's been tracking those developments. हिमांशु, पवन खेरा के साथ कोई और है, कांग्रेस नेताज है? All right, we're going to try and patch Himanshu, but from what we hear now, Pawan Khera will be likely produced in court shortly from now. He's also likely to be taken to Assam. He will be taken to Assam in transit remand. That's the request that will be put forth by the Assam police. In fact, this is huge development, really unprecedented scenes, never seen before. On one hand, you have Pawan Khera, who's been arrested by the Assam police, who've come all the way from their state to Delhi, reached the airport, detained Pawan Khera before he boarded that flight, and has taken him to the police station because of an FIR filed against him for misspelling Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister's name. Let me cut across to Prashant Bhuiya, Assam Police Force spokesperson. Prashant ji, what exactly has happened? Pawan Khera has been detained, deboarded, detained, and now arrested. He's going to be produced before court. This is unheard of.
Yes, true. Delhi Police and CISF has detained him at Delhi Airport on our request, and we are going to produce him in a nearby court. After getting the transit remand, we'll bring him to the state.
So, what exactly does the FIR say? How serious are the allegations that the Assam police had to come all the way from the state to Delhi to get hold of him?
Allegations are cognizable offence. It is quite serious. Sections are also quite serious. We have put sections 120B, 153A, 153B, 500, 504, 505, and 505. Within some clauses are there.
Right, so what do these sections really signify? That Pawan Khera, if found guilty, can face arrest, and what could be the likely punishment?
Likely punishment, within 7 years. Within 7 years.
All right, up to 7 years. He could face arrest of up to 7 years.
Yeah.
Mr. Prashant, any likelihood that Pawan Khera will be given any relief in terms of a bail, or will you be taking him to Assam immediately?
That decision I cannot take. We cannot take. Honorable Court will take those decisions regarding bail matters. We have nothing to comment on that.
Well, how soon will he be produced before court?
Within a short span of time.
You know, at this point, this is unheard of, Mr. Prashant, that the police coming in all the way from one state to the other for a comment that was made by a neta. Of course, the Congress raising political concerns, calling this dictatorship by the BJP government. Would you have a say on that?
See, as and when a case is registered against anybody, irrespective of all political parties, everybody, we have to take action as per law.
Well, Mr. Prashant, there may have been so many FIRs where serious sections are leveled against the accused, but little do we see the police department moving from one state to the other in this fashion.
In Assam, we are taking actions against everybody. In each and every cognizable offence cases registered over here, we are taking action. I can't say about other states.
Right. Right. Mr. Prashant, would you be able to tell us about you said that this is a cognizable offence. How serious is this case against Pawan Khera?
Yeah,
could you break it down for us, please?
Arrest without any warrant from the court.
Okay. Without a warrant, he can face arrest. That's how serious the sections are.
Yes.
Sir, can you confirm who exactly has filed this FIR?
There is a person called Mr. Samuel Sanction in Haflong town itself.
He is a common man in Assam?
Place is called Haflong. It is in Assam. The name of the complainant is Samuel Sanction. Mr. Samuel Sanction.
Okay. Is he a politician or a common man?
No, he's a social worker.
Okay, he's a social worker. And we believe that Pawan Khera now is in the police station. Is there, again, I'd like to repeat myself, is there any way of bail for him, any likelihood, or is the case so serious that he will not be granted bail anytime soon?
No, he's right now, he's not police station. He's at Delhi airport and we'll be producing him to local court there.
Oh, he's going to be taken to the local court right there?
Yes, Delhi court. Local means Delhi.
Right, at the Delhi court, but he's not in a police station right now. Could you confirm Pawan Khera's location,
No, he's
please?
not in the police station right now.
Okay, he's still at the airport.
Yeah.
All right. Sir, again, would you be able to repeat the sections leveled against him in the FIR? How serious are those sections?
You want to know the sections?
Yes, please. If you could break it down, what does each of those sections mean?
Right now, I can't tell you. We can select in institutes and some other base.
Just spell out the sections for us, sir. You just said it. If you could repeat it. Yeah.
You can note it down. 120B.
Yes.
153A.
Yes.
153B. 500.
Right.
504. 505.
Right.
Within bracket 1, within bracket B, 505, within bracket 2, IPC.
Right. And these are all cognizable offences, and there is this could of course very well allow the police to arrest him without a notice, and that's what's happened.
Yes.
Right. So is there again a likelihood of him being taken to Assam anytime soon, immediately? Are you going to wait for the court's decision on that?
Yes, right.
Thank you very much, Prashant Bhuyan, for joining us and explaining to us. This is the Assam Police's spokesperson who's clarified the sections. Well, some cognizable sections there, some serious charges leveled against Pawan Khera, along with 120B, 153A, 500, 505, several other sections that's leveled against him in that FIR that's been categorically leveled against Pawan Khera, accusing him of deliberately trying to hurt sentiments and insult Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his father. This is the FIR filed in Assam by a social worker named Samuel. That's the clarification and confirmation coming in from the Assam police, saying that these offences are so serious that they need not notify Pawan Khera. They don't even need a warrant before arresting him, and that's exactly what's happened. Pawan Khera Khera supremely insulted by the Assam police landing up at the airport, literally pulling him out of that aircraft where he was Raipur bound, and detained him, arrested him, will soon be produced before court.
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है। एक मिनट, लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी। ये पवन जी साफ कह रहे हो, ये देखिए यहाँ से
आपका क्या कहना है? क्या कहना है?
आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई करा रहे हैं, देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है।
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है।
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी।
कौन कौन लोग थे अंदर, कौन कौन थे? कांग्रेस
ऑर्डर दिया आप देख रहे हैं कि कैसे इस बस में पवन खेड़ा जी को और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है, जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, इन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है? ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की। ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं, नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आप को करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं है।
इतना बड़ा कोई अपराधी नहीं पवन खेरा जी, वेल नोन पर्सनालिटी है, रोज मीडिया में आते हैं, तो जिसको कोई ना जानता हो वो छुप जाए, ऐसी कोई ऐसी शख्सियत भी नहीं है। लेकिन उसको वहां से प्लेन से उतारा जाना, इसका मतलब ये है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस महाधिवेशन से बेहद डरी हुई है। किसी न किसी माध्यम से इसको डिस्टर्ब करना चाहती है, असफल करना चाहती है। लेकिन मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता और आयोजन समिति के सब साथी इससे और मजबूती के साथ उसमें डटे हुए हैं।
All right, there you have Congress leaders who are really crying foul, calling this absolute dictatorship by the BJP government. Pawan Khera right now is, we believe, as per the police's spokesperson, he's still at the airport. He's going to be produced before court at this point, and the cops of Assam are likely to appeal for his transit remand so that they can take him to Assam and investigate him on the charges leveled against him. An FIR filed against Congress's Pawan Khera for allegedly insulting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his father. That's some serious sections leveled against him in that FIR that's led to the police without a warrant or a notice arresting him right from the Delhi airport. Pawan Khera right outside spoke to India Today. Here's what he said.
ना वो केस बता रहे, ना वो FIR बता रहे, ना वो पुलिस स्टेशन बता रहे, ना वो प्रोडक्शन वारंट मजिस्ट्रेट का दे रहे, ना वो गिरफ्तारी का ऑर्डर दे रहे। तो क्या है, हमें क्यों रोक रखा है? आप किसी जहाज को चलते हुए को ऐसे कैसे रोक सकते हैं? अगर पुलिस ही कानून में व्यवधान डालेगी तो कानून की रक्षा कौन करेगा?
Okay, that was Randeep Surjewala who said that this is unheard of. Pawan Khera has been without his fault dragged off the plane, and there is really no sign of law and order, no logic to what has happened. Pawan Khera also spoke. These are visuals of Pawan Khera right outside the Delhi airport soon after he was detained and taken by the Assam police. He spoke briefly to India Today. Let's have a listen. In fact, I'm going to first take you through exactly what Pawan Khera had said that's led to his arrest. This is a few days ago, in fact 2 days ago, when Pawan Khera spoke at a press conference where he was referring to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and misspelled Narendra Modi's name, and then goes on to apologize saying it was a genuine mistake. Here's what Pawan Khera had said.
जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम? गौतम दास है, दामोदर दास, सॉरी। जब नरसिम्हा राव जी जेपीसी बना सकते थे, जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी जेपीसी बैठा सकते थे, तो नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी को क्या प्रॉब्लम? गौतम दास है, दामोदर दास, सॉरी।
All right, that was a few days ago, to which an FIR filed in Assam. Serious charges leveled against him of trying to create tensions and also insulting Narendra Modi and his father, the Prime Minister. Now, Pawan Khera, who's been arrested by the Assam police, highly embarrassed at the Delhi airport, spoke right outside the Delhi airport. We have Manikam Tagore speaking on this. Listen in.
The same thing Mr. Pawan Khera told in the press conference. There is no difference between it. Therefore, Assam police should arrest Narendra Modi, then Pawan Khera. There is nothing, both of them said the same thing.
Earlier there was an ED raid which Chhattisgarh. Now this is happening where Congress leaders are going towards the plenary session. How do you sense this?
BJP is rattled by the success of Bharat Jodo Yatra and the way they are messed up with their
All right, we see that the Congress netas are responding, saying that there have been umpteen number of times that the BJP netas and even accusing Prime Minister Narendra Modi of saying things that should be taken cognizance of, but none of that has happened. Here is Pawan Khera, who's been arrested for no fault of his. This is what the Congress says.
की जाए तो आप जहाजों के ऊपर धरना प्रदर्शन देके पब्लिक के लिए इनकन्वीनियंस करें। क्या आपकी ये गुंडागर्दी है? आम साधारण आदमी जो टिकट लेकर आज जहाज पर सवारी करना चाहते हैं, आज आपने उनके जहाज को भी रोकने का काम कर दिया। मुझे लगता है ये सबसे निचले स्तर की गंदी राजनीति है कि जब आप इस कदर उतर आए, पहले तो प्रधानमंत्री के प्रति अपशब्द बोले और फिर लोगों के लिए इतनी बड़ी इनकन्वीनियंस करें। इनके ऊपर एनआईए की तरफ से कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, ऐसे घटिया मानसिकता के लोगों के खिलाफ। और ये जो प्रचलन इन्होंने शुरू किया है, इसके हम कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करते हैं।
All right, that was the BJP spokesperson saying that this is absolutely shameful that the Congress netas blocked off a plane, did not allow other passengers to take off to their destination. And this is high-handedness. What else is this? This is the BJP's response to the protests that we saw that unfolded right at the Terminal 1 of Delhi Airport on the tarmac itself, right outside that Raipur-bound Indigo flight. Congress netas sat down in dharna saying they won't, this is not accepted, they will not allow that plane to take off itself, and that's what happened. Pawan Khera right outside the airport, though, spoke to India Today right after he was detained by the police. These are the visuals there coming in of Pawan Khera. Let's listen in.
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है। एक मिनट, लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी। पवन जी साफ कह रहे हो, और ये देखिए यहाँ से
आपका क्या कहना है?
आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई की चला रहे हैं, देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है।
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है आपको?
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी।
कौन-कौन लोग थे अंदर, कौन-कौन थे? कांग्रेस ऑर्डर दिया सर।
All right, that was Pawan Khera there. Let me cut across to Akshay Dongre joining us for a little more on that. Akshay, from what we hear, Pawan Khera is not at a police station. That's what the Assam Police's spokesperson has said. He's not at the police station. He's at the airport even till this minute. He's going to be taken directly to the Delhi court where the cops will ask for his transit remand so that he could be taken to Assam. Huge developments, and what massive embarrassment to Pawan Khera for what he said. I'm sure he hasn't expected this kind of backlash. Tell us a little more. Where are the Congress netas? Have they stepped out of the airport, or are they still protesting inside?
Well, as far as the Congress leaders are concerned, they haven't stepped out of the airport as of now because the airport is not very far from the Terminal 1 where the flight was taking off to Raipur. Now, this is the police station. The Pawan Khera was brought out by Assam police officials. Along with the Assam police officials, there were Delhi police officials as well, and the airport security that escorted them out. And then immediately after bringing them out, Mr. Pawan Khera has been brought to the police station here where we are standing right now. As of this movement, Mr. Pawan Khera is inside the airport. Yes, you have rightly mentioned that there are sources telling us in the Assam police that Mr. Khera may be taken to court directly, where the Assam police can ask for a transit remand of Mr. Khera. He may be taken to Assam for questioning as far as that entire controversy is concerned. But this is in fact a classic case of police outreach, because what we are seeing right now, Pawan Khera, yes, he has said something insulting to the Prime Minister, but a leader of an opposition party, in fact a spokesperson of the opposition party, one of the main opposition parties of our country being arrested like this by a police of another state in a case that was not even in Assam. So that is the big question. Now there is some movement here, Nabila. We'll try and trace.
Big breaking news coming in from Amritsar. Supporters of news there. Supporters of Khalistani ideologue outside the court in Amritsar. Protests there erupt as Amritpal taken to court. Backers demand scrapping of FIR against Amritpal. Supporters now on a complete rampage in Amritsar. Here, huge ruckus that we see there in Amritsar as we see visuals of Khalistani supporters and the Khalistani ideologue itself outside court. Protests erupting as Amritpal has been taken to court. Backers now demanding the scrapping of FIR against Amritpal.
ਅਜਨਾਲਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਨ ਪਾਲਕੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਨ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਜਨਾਲਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਭਾਈ ਅਮਰਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਕਾਫਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਜਨਾਲਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸਨ ਇਹ ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ ਅਜਨਾਲਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਰੋਕਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਇੱਥੇ
Kamaljeet Sandhu joining us live. Kamaljeet, a quick word. Amritpal Singh, it appears, has yet again given warnings to Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, etc. All sorts of things that were said. He's now been taken to court and we see a huge sea of Khalistani supporters there, we believe, who have come out right outside court in Amritsar condemning this, the fact that Amritpal Singh has been taken in.
You know, the leader of Punjab, Warasdi, has been in the eye of storm for quite some time in Punjab, and specifically there have been several quarters who've been raising demand for his arrest. But this particular instances of beating up of a Gursikh, after which his associates were arrested. He was calling for questioning by the Ajnala police, and obviously a lot of supporters gathered there. Now, there seems to be a difference as far as the centre and the state have been approaching this particular case, because many feel that he's openly propagating Khalistan and making pro-Khalistan statements, and he should have been nipped in the bud. However, Punjab police has had a record which they believe that there's been no concrete case. But yes, specifically in this particular matter, he's been called in and being taken to the court. But what is important and significant is the sort of gathering. Now, many believe that the same mistakes as was done in the case of Bhinderwala should not be done. That if he is arrested and there is some case done against him, that there could be a rise in popularity. But just going by the merits of the case, but remember, as far as violations are concerned, whether it is flouting weapons, whether it is flouting norms, there have been several of the statements. The latest statement which was made in Amritsar by him, where he did make some comparison, drawing in with Indira Gandhi taking steps to prevent Khalistan, and then obviously drawing in Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, saying that they can try their best, but if they are propagating, if there are people within the country who are propagating Hindu Rashtra, so what is wrong with Khalistan? So he has been making very insinuating statements. These are provocative in nature. There have been obviously a lot of questions being raised as to what sort of action Punjab police wants to do. On several times, Punjab government has been questioned about it. But meanwhile, it does seem that with Amritpal, there is a kid's glove treatment as far as this particular leader is concerned. But clearly, a point is obviously about the law and order situation. Punjab police would not want matters to escalate, but also keeping in mind the sensitivities of the case, the questioning has to be done, and a line has to be drawn as to how much a person can really be allowed to get away with.
You know, but little did we think that Khalistan, the concept of Khalistan has this kind of support in Punjab. Look at the numbers there, Kamaljeet. Huge numbers of people there who have landed up at that Amritsar court, and all of them demanding for a separate country. That seems to be their premise. Tell us a little more about the kind of support that they are, or the momentum that they are gaining for their demand.
You know, Amritsar, who recently got married, he had come from Dubai and had been gaining popularity, especially on the social media platforms. So there have been several people who have given him that sort of importance. But a lot of people have shown skepticism because he has made some provocative statements, whether it is regarding the Gurdwaras, whether it is regarding Khalistani. So there have been contrary views on him. But yes, as far as Punjab police is concerned, and we've seen over a few matters, one, a concrete FIR against him, something which seems to be lacking in any particular case. But here, Ajnala police definitely has called him, especially in regards to beating up of a person, how seriously they want to take it. Because remember, as far as the centre is concerned, as far as intelligence agencies are concerned, they've already taken note. And obviously, many feel that these kind of provocative statements should not be lightly taken. There should be action taken against him, especially when it came to statesman, when he was drawing in comparison as to what really happened with Indira Gandhi, an experiment which can be taken by the centre, something which has obviously not gone down very well. But clearly, there are red lines, red flags just about everywhere as far as Amritsar is concerned, whether it's regarding his organization, the sort of support that he carries. But clearly, as far as the youngsters are concerned, there seems to be a certain traction in certain segments and pockets. And that was really the worry is that whether if he is arrested will give him and he will gain more popularity, or whether this can actually all be nipped in the bud and strict action should be taken, because remember, the law is equal for all citizens.
Right. What is the Punjab government really saying to all of this? This is, of course, huge embarrassment to the Aam Aadmi Party as they're seeing this Khalistani movement itself brewing within their own state, and AAP has just taken over in the state, and under their eyes, we see this kind of support for the Khalistan movement. Is there anything that the Punjab government has said or reacted with this regard so far?
Well, the opposition has been gunning for the Bhagwant government for quite some time, saying, and whether it's the BJP or for that matter, the Shrimani Akali Dal, the others, many of them. But clearly on the matter of Amritsar, maybe not many of them have really spoken out. But when it comes to the merits of the case, obviously many people feel that this is a situation which could nearly slip. And remember, Punjab being a very important border state. And even when Captain Amrinder Singh was the chief minister, and we've seen whether it's the drone activity, whether it is about the gangster terror network, and we've seen NIA swoop in and obviously carry out multiple raids. But the fact is that can a person be allowed to make these speeches, try to provoke and obviously try to garner public support of this kind? But definitely there is many of them also talking about experts who say that there is a leeway because there is an insinuation, but to pin him down, one would really require a very solid case against him. But at this point of time, remember, the tensions are clearly rising, and it is up to Punjab police whether it is to douse the fire or whether it is to ensure that proper justice is done in each and every case. Even remember when there was killing of the right-wing person, and this was done way back a couple of months ago, there were questions raised as to how the Khalistani movement could be reviving way back here in Punjab, and which seems to be a key cause of concern. That Pakistan, who's trying to fish in troubled waters, we've seen Ludhiana blast take place, we've seen the RPG attack take place. So there is a tentative feeling that there could be a situation where things could slip out of hand. But meanwhile, Punjab police has obviously shown confidence, and we've seen multiple agencies take note of things. They have been doing a counter, and in fact on Wednesday itself, there was a huge CASO operations which were carried out with multiple officers sent. We also saw on that particular day the NIA raids were done on the gangster terror network case. So there is a thing. But yes, when it comes to a person who is the center of controversy, sort of strict action, and that kind of a leadership call has to be taken by the Punjab government and in particular by Punjab police.
Right. These visuals are quite scary there, Kamaljeet, where we see that the supporters of the Khalistan movement there trying to barge towards the Amritsar court. What about law and order? It seems to have failed at this moment as we see swarms of protesters there headed towards court. Quite intimidating, the visuals coming in from there.
Well, definitely a situation to worry for, because remember they have been showcasing guns as well as swords. So this is a tricky situation, and remember this has to be handled very sensitively. There have been obviously a lot of red flags has been raised by intelligence agencies regarding Amritsar, but clearly there seems to be an escalation of situation, and this has to be caught very, very quickly. Now Amritsar is obviously a very key cultural center as far as Punjab is concerned, and this is where they will not just require forces but also require an outreach of this kind to particular youth to ensure that there is no violation as far as law and order issues are concerned. But clearly Punjab at a precipice, and this is a call which has to be taken as to whether there can be an iron hand in dealing with these kind of protesters, or whether Punjab government once again wants to go a little soft on these protesters. Obviously they are looking at two-way, because this is a double-edged sword, this way or that way. This could be a catch-22 situation. But as far as Punjab Warasdi is concerned, Amritpal is concerned, several of his men had earlier been booked about brandishing weapons, and this is how things really are on the ground. It's a very tricky situation, but clearly it is the strong leadership. And remember, as far as earlier times, especially in the 80s and 90s are concerned, this is where a strong leadership was the case. And here also, perhaps some hard decisions need to be taken when it comes to treatment of such elements are concerned.
Swords and knives, and those are the weapons that are being wielded at that protest site. We see right outside the Amritsar court where Amritpal Singh, the face of the Khalistani movement, has been taken in, and we believe that the police are trying to control the crowds but are failing to do so. I'm going to up those the audio there coming in from that protest site to get a quick understanding of what we see on ground.
Over 3 decades, Business Today has delivered news, views and analysis like no other, chronicling India Inc.'s journey through time. Now, at 31 years, Business Today presents the future. Mission 2047, Road to India at 100. With Indian industry's biggest stalwarts and an exclusive interview with Google CEO Sundar Pichai.
Yet another setback for Arvind Kejriwal. His most trusted lieutenant in the Delhi government and the Aam Aadmi Party, Manish Sisodia, is again on the radar of the central investigative agencies. The Ministry of Home Affairs has sanctioned to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia in an alleged snooping case after a CBI request was approved by Delhi LG VK Saxena. The CBI sought sanctions to register an FIR against Sisodia, who heads the Vigilance Department of the Delhi government. The feedback unit was created under this department in 2015 after Aam Aadmi Party came to power in Delhi. The Deputy Chief Minister is accused of running the feedback unit to snoop on the opposition. Aam Aadmi leaders are also accused of siphoning government funds for the spying mission. Sisodia has called the case against him false and asserted that it is a sign of BJP's weakness. Taking a jibe at the Saffron Party, he said Aam Aadmi Party's growth is unnerving the BJP.
पेगासस किसने खरीदा था? केंद्र सरकार ने खरीदा था। वहां बताए केंद्र सरकार की वो जजों की, पत्रकारों की, राजनेताओं की जासूसी क्यों करा रही थी? केंद्र सरकार को बताना पड़ेगा।
जो 700 लोगों की जासूसी कर रहे हैं, गोपनीय डेटा इकट्ठा करके पता नहीं किसको किसको शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा अपराध करने वालों को सजा तो होनी चाहिए। हम कह रहे हैं कि जांच कड़ी हो, और अगर दोषी हैं तो चाहे वो कोई भी हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी क्यों ना हो या कोई मनोज तिवारी क्यों ना हो, जो दोषी है उसको सजा होनी चाहिए।
In the last 8 years, with all their agencies, has the Bharatiya Janata Party been able to present even evidence of 1 rupee of corruption by Aam Aadmi Party? Of course they haven't. They have not been able to present evidence of corruption in 200 cases, so it is very clear even in the 201st, nothing is going to be.
They have always played the victimhood card. This victimhood card won't do. They must come and answer the questions because the victimhood card.
All right, now we have some news coming in. Congress, they're moving the top court over Khera's arrest. Congress seeking consolidation of Khera's FIRs. Supreme Court to hear Congress's plea at 3 p.m. Senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi has mentioned the case pertaining to Congress leader Pawan Khera. Mentioned before the Supreme Court now, 3 p.m. is likely when the case will be taken up. In fact, Pawan Khera now has been taken in by the Assam police. He's likely to be taken to court, a local court, where the Assam police is seeking for a transit remand, to which if the court agrees, then they will be able to take Pawan Khera all the way to Assam and probe the allegations leveled against him on that FIR, accusing him of insulting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his father, and to try and create tensions, etc. Some serious charges, some sections leveled against Pawan Khera, that the police did not even need an arrest warrant or a notice that they had to send out before they reached the Delhi airport. Knew very well that he was there with a bunch of other Congress netas and ensured he was deplaned even before he took off. He was pulled out of the airport and taken in by the police. Supriya Srinath, who's again spoken extensively of the Congress neta who was right there with Pawan Khera. We also have Bhupesh Baghel, who's spoken to India Today. Let's have a listen.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी बुरी तरह से घबराई हुई है और उसके कारण से निम्नतर स्तर में जाकर ये कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। ईडी की कार्रवाई हो, चाहे वो कार्यकर्ताओं के यहाँ हो, पार्टी पदाधिकारियों के यहाँ हो, और चाहे अभी तत्काल में पवन खेरा को जिस प्रकार से प्लेन से उतारा गया है, तो ये बताता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी किस स्तर पे जा रही है। राजनीतिक विरोध को बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पा रही है और उसे दमन करने के निम्न स्तर के हथकंडे अपना रहे हैं।
पर वो ऐसा क्यों करेंगे? क्योंकि आपके बहुत सारे जो साथीगण हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि भारत जोड़ो यात्रा की वजह से ऐसा हो रहा है। बीजेपी कह रही है कि नहीं, आप लोग हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी की पिताजी के नाम को उन्होंने डिस्टॉर्ट किया। पवन खेड़ा पहले कह चुके, स्लिप ऑफ टंग था, ये भी नहीं पता था पहले कि कौन सी पुलिस लेने आई है उनको। पहले यूपी पुलिस का कर रहे थे, फिर असम पुलिस की आई है। पूरी प्रक्रिया पर आपको क्या कहना है?
भाई ये इतना बड़ा अपराध नहीं है, या कोई देश से बाहर नहीं जा रहे थे जिसके लिए उसको प्लेन से उतारा जाए। यदि उनको लगता है कि गलत हुआ है तो उसकी कार्रवाई हो जाती। पहले करते आसाम पुलिस सोई हुई थी क्या? और दूसरा, जब प्लेन में चढ़ गए तब उतारने की क्या ज़रूरत है? वो रायपुर भी आ सकती थी, या फिर यहाँ प्लेनरी सेशन होता हो तब कार्रवाई करते। लेकिन ये नहीं करके बता रहे हैं कि ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग और उनके सरकारें अपना आपा खो चुकी हैं।
इसके साथ साथ पूरा विपक्ष अब एक साथ आके बाहर कह रहे हैं कि देखिए ये जो हो रहा है ये ठीक नहीं है लोकतंत्र के लिए।
बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है। लोकतंत्र में इस प्रकार की हरकतें जनता ताकत देती है, और ये ताकत है, जो शक्ति मिलती है, उसका उपयोग जनता की सेवा के लिए, इसके लिए नहीं है कि आप विरोधी दल के लोगों को आप ख़त्म करें, सताएं, प्रताड़ित करें। इसके लिए आपको ये ताकत नहीं दी गई।
मामला सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक पहुंच गया है। कांग्रेस पार्टी से कैसे देखती है? आप भी जो है तैयारियों का जायजा ले रहे हैं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं कहा यह भी जा रहा है कि बहुत सारे आपके वरिष्ठ नेता ये कह रहे हैं कि हम तो तैयार हैं, अभी और इसमें विखंडे और अटकलें आएंगी। निश्चित रूप से
शुरू संदेशा था कि हमारे यहाँ रेड पड़ेंगे हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के यहाँ, और 3 दिन बीत गया, रेड हुए, लेकिन अभी तक के ईडी ने कोई प्रेस विज्ञप्ति जारी नहीं की कि हमारे नेताओं को मिला क्या है। इसका अर्थ यही है कि ये केवल राजनीतिक प्रयोजन के लिए मारा गया छापा था, जिससे आप यहाँ के पहले तो ये है कि यहाँ के जो तैयारी है उसमें विघ्न डाला जाए, और उसके बाद दूसरा जो नेता आ रहे हैं उसको रोकने के षड्यंत्र के। खड़गे साहब आने वाले हैं, अभी तो पवन खेरा जी को रोके हैं, पता नहीं हमारे और किन किन राष्ट्रीय नेताओं को रोकेंगे। और अभी शुरू होने में तभी टाइम है, 24 तारीख को शुरू होगा। इस बीच में अभी 24-36 घंटे हैं। इस बीच में पता नहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार और क्या क्या हाथ करने अपनाएगी।
आप स्केप्टिकल हैं कि और भी नेताओं को रोका जा सके? अभी तो सारे आपके वरिष्ठ नेता आने हैं, खड़गे जी हैं, राहुल गांधी जी हैं, प्रियंका जी हैं, सोनिया जी हैं,
सभी आएंगे, और ये किस स्तर पे जाएंगे इसके बारे में कोई कल्पना नहीं की जा सकती। ये किसी स्तर पे जा सकते हैं।
बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है कि बहुत सारे आपके अलायंस पार्टनर्स और बहुत सारे वो लोग जो भी यूपीए के अंदर नहीं हैं, वो लोग भी आगे बढ़कर आके इस चीज़ की जो के खिलाफ बोल रहे हैं। 2024 के चुनाव को आप किस तरह देखते हैं? क्योंकि एक सहयोगी दल ने कहा कि ये बौखलाहट है क्योंकि बीजेपी को पता है कि 2024 में हम नहीं आ रहे हैं, इसलिए इस तरह की चीज़ें कर रहे हैं। आपके एक जो वरिष्ठ नेता है अन्य विपक्षी पार्टी के, उन्होंने ये कहा है।
इसी को कहते हैं कि विनाशकाली विपरीत बुद्धि। ये उनको डर सताने लगा कि 2024 में हमारी सरकार नहीं आएगी, और इसलिए जब उनको ये अंदेशा हो जाता है तो फिर ये इस प्रकार के हथकंडे अपनाना शुरू करते हैं, जिसमें पवन खेरा जी के खिलाफ जो कार्रवाई की है, यहाँ ईडी के खिलाफ कार्रवाई की है। अभी हमारे शासकीय कार्यालयों में कल से बैठे हुए हैं, अभी तक के वहाँ के कर्मचारी अधिकारी किस स्थिति में है मुझे जानकारी नहीं। मैंने सुरक्षा के लिए वहाँ पुलिस फोर्स भी लगा कर रखा है ताकि कोई लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की
थोड़ा इसे नीचे करो बेटा, आपको चोट ना लगेगी। साथियों, आज हिटलर शाही का, पुलिसिया गुंडागर्दी का, मोदी शाही का एक अनूठा उदाहरण प्रजातंत्र की दिन दहाड़े हत्या का इस देश ने देखा। पवन खेड़ा जी जो हमारे सहयोगी हैं, मीडिया विभाग के चेयरपर्सन हैं, उनको इंडिगो के हवाई जहाज से, जब हवाई जहाज उड़ने वाला था, उतार लिया गया। हेमंतो बिस्व शर्मा जी ने, जो अपने आप को बहुत बड़े लॉयलिस्ट साबित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, एक फर्जी एफआईआर असम में दर्ज करके और पवन खेड़ा जी को गिरफ्तार किया जा रहा है। पवन खेड़ा का कसूर क्या है? उन्होंने एक पत्रकार वार्ता में केवल और केवल नाम लिया था, हम ये इस सच्चाई से लड़ेंगे, हम सच्चाई के सिपाही हैं और न वो हमारी आवाज को दबा पाएंगे, न वो हमारी आवाज को रोक पाएंगे। हम कानूनी तरीके से भी और राजनीतिक तरीके से भी इस पुलिसिया गुंडागर्दी से जोर से लड़ेंगे, हमारी आवाज बुलंद रहेगी।
क्या आरोप क्या लगाए, क्या धाराएं क्या लगाई?
सेक्शन 153A वो बनता ही नहीं।
पवन खेरा जी, पवन खेरा जी, आप देख सकते हैं पवन खेड़ा को लेकर के पुलिस की टीम इस वक्त बाहर आई है। आसाम पुलिस भी आप देखिए क्या पर है, आसाम सामने है। हम बात करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर। आप देखिए यहाँ पर सुरक्षा है। तो आप ये देख सकते हैं पवन खेड़ा को लेकर के कहाँ लेके जा रहा है आपको, कौन सी कोर्ट? देखिए जी, आप देखिए जहाँ पर पुलिस की टीम अब यहाँ से लेकर जा रही है, आप ये देखिए पुलिस की टीम। सर पवन खेड़ा जी, पवन खेड़ा जी,
All right, there you have reactions coming in extensively from the Congress party where they claim what exactly has Pawan Khera done that he deserves this kind of punishment, that he had to be detained from the airport, deplaned, detained and then arrested. This is the Congress accusing the BJP of dictatorship. On the other hand, you have some serious charges leveled against Pawan Khera for allegedly insulting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his father. An FIR has been filed with serious sections, cognizable offence. This is in Assam by a social worker there. Assam police acting on it has come all the way to the Delhi airport, reached out to the Delhi police with their help, have arrested Pawan Khera. Akshay Dongre, in fact, tracking those movements of Pawan Khera as he's been taken to court. Let me cut across.
Well, Nabila, we are chasing the cars of Mr. Pawan Khera of the police that is taking Mr. Pawan Khera. There you can see on our screens that this is the car which has Mr. Pawan Khera. In fact, he is sitting in the middle between the two police officials who are taking. So there are two police cars that are in fact taking Mr. Khera to the court. where there will be an attempt by the Assam police to take a transit remand of Mr. Khera. However, the action, or rather the outreach by police in this case, is also being questioned by the Congress party. They are asking that what kind of a crime has Mr. Khera done for the Assam police to in fact go to an extent to reach the airplane where Mr. Pawan Khera was, deboard Mr. Pawan Khera and take him to the court. So this is the situation right now. This is the car in which Mr. Pawan Khera is sitting. And while there are, yes, some allegations against Mr. Khera that he insulted the Prime Minister, he insulted father of the Prime Minister as well, but the kind of action that is being taken by the Assam police is also being questioned by the opposition. Now, the Congress party certainly is going to, in fact, ramp up the protests. In fact, senior police officials in the car that is following the other two cars are also following the entire cavalcade that is going on. That is in fact going to the court, but it all now the ball is in the court of Assam police. That what kind of action do they want, and what exactly are the cases in which they are asking they will be asking the court to give a transit remand of Mr. Khera. This is as you can see, senior police officials in the car that is following Mr. Khera. It is major concern among the opposition leaders, especially the Congress party. Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala, also one of the spokesperson of the Congress party, was speaking to the media because he was accompanying Mr. Pawan Khera as far as this entire case is concerned. As soon as the Assam police deboarded Mr. Khera, Mr. Surjewala accompanied Mr. Pawan Khera, and he will in fact be going to the court as well. The other Congress leaders, however, still inside the airport. Now, whether they'll be taking a flight to Raipur, the next flight to Raipur or not, that still is a question. But here, a spokesperson of the Congress party, who has been quite vocal, in fact, for the past several years, as far as the Modi government is concerned, just a few days back, I also attended a press conference by Mr. Pawan Khera, but the kind of action is also a question, because there are many cases where the police in fact refuses to file an FIR. Action being taken at such a haste is a very, very rare thing by any police. No, it's not just the Delhi police or Assam police, by any police in the country. Such kind of an action over a jibe by a political leader, that is the big story here as far as the arrest of Mr. Pawan Khera is concerned. Now the cars, as you can see, moving at a very fast pace. In fact, many cars also crossing the red lights here. That is the question. In fact, the police car that we were just following also crossed the red light to accompany Mr. Pawan Khera. Will try to follow him. And try to find out that where exactly is the action that's planned by the Assam police. It's very difficult for the Congress party. It's a difficult day because one of their prime spokesperson has been arrested. He was conducting a press conference in Banaras, where the statement that was made, I would like to reiterate the statement that he made. Nabila, he said, while he was referring to the Prime Minister, he said, Narendra Gautam Das Modi. Then he asked his colleague who were sitting with him that is it Damodar Das or is it Gautam Das? So somebody pointed out that it is not Gautam Das, it is Damodar Das. Then he corrected himself, saying that, oh, it is Damodar Das, but Prime Minister does work like Gautam Das, which loosely translates into slave of Gautam. Now clearly hinting at Mr. Gautam Adani, the businessman who was in fact named by the Hindenburg report, the entire controversy that followed. But we are still chasing the cars of the police. They are also in a haste to take Mr. Pawan Khera to the police station. There you have their entire cavalcade of media cars, of police cars that are trying to take Mr. Pawan Khera as soon as possible to the court in a bid to try for a transit remand. It remains to be seen that whether the court will be granting a transit remand or not. But that is a question for later. That is a question when Mr. Khera reaches in front of the court. There is certainty that senior leaders of the Congress party, including Mr. Manu Singhvi, will be representing Mr. Pawan Khera as far as this entire case is concerned. But There are questions. It's not just the political parties that are raising questions. On social media, people are pointing out that what exactly was so touchy about that entire jibe that Mr. Pawan Khera took at the Prime Minister that has resulted into such a massive action. It is the Prime Minister himself who has been talking a lot about criticism. He has said that he welcomes criticism. He welcomes jokes about his government. He welcomes criticism. He welcomes every opposition. But the Assam police taking this action in such a haste is a question now. We'll again try to pan out to the police cavalcade that is in fact going, or rather that is taking Mr. Pawan Khera to the court in Delhi, where he will be produced in front of the judge, and the entire case will be in front of the court, will be in front of the judge, where it is up to the judge to take action, to take to give an order that whether Mr. Pawan Khera has committed a crime worthy of a transit remand, where Mr. Pawan Khera can be taken to Assam police or not. But this entire case has snowballed into a much larger controversy because it is highly unlikely that Mr. Pawan Khera, even he would have thought that the statement or the jibe or the mistake, whatever we call it, would attract such a big action by a police. Similar kind of
Akshay,
Pawan
Khera put out a tweet right after he said what he said. He put out a tweet saying it was a genuine mistake. He was confused on Prime Minister's middle name. This is what he said, and he said sorry also right after he made that alleged or so-called mistake. Not too sure if he did that intentionally or if it was a genuine mistake, but he's come out to say sorry. He said it was a genuine mistake and put it out on his social media platform, on his Twitter as well, for the world to see. But that doesn't seem to have been accepted at all. An FIR has been filed leveling some serious charges. Would you take us through exactly what the FIR says and what are the charges so serious that the police did not even need a warrant or a notice? They came straight at the Delhi airport, Terminal 1, embarrassed him supremely, dragged him out of that airport and have now arrested him.
Well, that is the question. In fact, even Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala was pointing out just outside the police station of the Indira Gandhi Airport that what is exactly the crime in the case of Mr. Pawan Khera. What exactly has he said? Because he apologized, as you rightly mentioned, on the social media platform Twitter, where he said that it was a genuine mistake and he doesn't want to insult the Prime Minister. It was a slip of tongue, and he apologizes for what he has said. So that remains to be seen, that how the police is actually going to justify the action that's being taken. Assam police will also have to answer, Assam government will also have to answer about these questions that are being raised. And in a rushed manner, Nabila, this entire action is being taken. Mr. Pawan Khera is being rushed to a court. The exact specific details of what happens in the court, we will all be reporting about it. But this is in fact a very serious political story. According to the opposition, they are saying that an arrest of Mr. Pawan Khera is dictatorship. They are calling it a dictatorship. They are saying that the kind of action that's being taken by the Assam police is unprecedented, and over what statement, and over a genuine mistake which he apologized publicly for. So it's all a big question now, that how the police is in fact going to proceed further, what exactly the police is going to
come as an unprecedented controversy, something that we've never seen in the past. Akshay Dongre, where are the other Congress netas? We believe that there were nearly 50 Congress netas who were taking that plane to Raipur, and right after Pawan Khera was asked to deplane, all of the other Congress netas followed suit. They all stepped out of that aircraft and came on the tarmac or sat in dharna, not allowing that flight to take off at all. So where are those leaders? Have they all left the airport? Are they still creating that commotion? Because one should know whatever they think is the intention of the cops or the government or that FIR that's been filed, whatever be their view on that, they cannot inconvenience innocent passengers. You have people there, entering the airport on a regular basis. The kind of traffic that the Delhi airport has is huge. So to inconvenience them at this point was also not right on the part of the Congress.
Well, yes, that's also true. In fact, the flight that was supposed to take off at 1:45 p.m. Nabila, it was grounded. It was there on the tarmac for several hours before the flight could actually be cancelled, and the passengers, the non-political passengers who were in that flight, they could be shifted to another flight. But that's also for the police to answer that. The action that's being taken also has caused some delay. Then there was, of course, the political opposition, the protest by the Congress leaders who in fact went out and sat on the tarmac itself. That has caused a lot of delays as well because there are times that people have meetings, there are times when people have serious business when they take flight and any kind of a delay is always an inconvenience, but this delay was for several hours. The flight had to be cancelled ultimately. The Congress leaders have not gotten out of the airport as of now. There is still little clarity that whether they will be taking flight to Raipur or whether they will in fact be going to the court where Mr. Pawan Khera will be produced. Because in all honesty, the story that has now developed in the national capital is even bigger than the events that were to take place in Raipur, the entire event. So we would again like to show you the convoy that is going on. There you can see a lot of other police cars joining now. There are press vehicles that are following, and it's all being done in a very filmy manner,
right.
Nabila, because
this is certainly quite filmy. You have Akshay Dongre, thank you very much. Akshay is following Pawan Khera's car at this point while he's being taken to the local court. The Assam police are hoping that they get or they're granted a transit remand, after which they will be taking Pawan Khera to Assam and investigate this case. Huge developments coming in, and what an embarrassment for the Congress's Pawan Khera. While he was literally dragged out of that plane, detained by the Assam police and taken in, he's now been arrested with the other Congress netas also deboarding themselves and protesting right on that tarmac, ensuring that that plane did not take off. Certainly scenes and sights that we've never seen in the past. But of course, India Today on top of this story. We're going to continue tracking those developments as the Congress has now knocked on the doors of the Supreme Court asking for relief on the matter. On this note, a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
If we were being accommodative, who sent the Indian army to the LAC? Rahul Gandhi didn't send them. Narendra Modi sent them. The largest peacetime deployment in our history on the China border. And please notice, I said China, C-H-I-N-A.
External Affairs Minister S. Shankar launches a stinking attack on the Congress.
I try not to be loud. I try to get my narrative across in an elegant and effective way, maybe at times sharper than people may want.
A day later, the Congress fires back, calling Shankar a failed foreign minister and tears into the Narendra Modi government's China policy.
निजी झगड़ा नहीं है, मैं आपके ऊपर कोई निजी आक्षेप नहीं लगा रही हूं, लेकिन हां, मैं ये जरूर कहती हूं कि आप इस देश के सबसे फेल्ड फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं.
The Grand Old Party on Wednesday gave a long list of what it called were failures of the diplomat turned politician.
इंडियन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को अपना आधा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पूरा हो चुका है. इंडिया में यूएस का एम्बेसडर नहीं है. श्रीलंका में चीनी इंटरफेरेंस है. भूटान हमसे दूर हो गया है. बांग्लादेश ने चीन को कॉक्स बाजार में सबमरीन बेस बनाने को कह दिया है. बांग्लादेश आज हमसे इकोनॉमिक पैरामीटर्स में बेटर कर रहा है, चाहे वो पर कैपिटा इनकम हो या जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट हो.
The blistering face-off comes in the backdrop of Rahul Gandhi questioning Shankar's understanding of geopolitics.
उसको समझना चाहिए. उनकी बयानबाजी आती रहती है. मैं देखता हूँ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर बोलते रहते हैं. कहना नहीं चाहिए, मगर शायद उनको थोड़ी अपनी समझ गहरी करनी चाहिए.
I'm not suggesting I'm necessarily the most knowledgeable person, but I would have a fairly good self-opinion of my understanding of what is out there.
Okay.
But if he has superior knowledge, wisdom, I'm always, as I said, for me, life is a learning process.
This isn't the first time the minister is hitting out at the opposition over foreign policy.
Today, you have a deployment of the Indian Army on the China border that we've never had. It's done in order to counter Chinese deployments which were scaled up massively since 2020. Now, if we were in denial, how is the army out there? Because the army didn't go there because Rahul Gandhi asked them to go. The army went there because the Prime Minister of India ordered them to go.
The charges and counter-charges on Chinese aggression, however, have not cleared the air on the extent of encroachment by the neighbour on border areas. Bureau Report, India Today.
Ranbir Kapoor is currently gearing up for the release of his upcoming film, Tu Jhooti Main Makkar. Recently, the actor was spotted heading out of Mumbai when a paparazzi danced to the tune of a song from his next and left the actor impressed. The songs Tere Pyar Mein and Pyar Hota Kai Baar Hai from this Love Ranjan's romantic movie have become huge hits. Co-starring Shraddha Kapoor, Tu Jhooti Main Makkar is set to release on March 8th. The film also stars comedian Anubhav Singh Bassi and Dimple Kapadia.
नमस्ते पंडित जी, कुंडलियां मिलवानी थी।
अभी जल्दी क्या है? बुरा बन के ब्रेकअप तो कोई भी कर सकता है। खूबसूरत ब्रेकअप वो होता है जिसमें सामने वाले को, उसके घर वालों को, रिश्तेदारों को, सबको लगे कि लड़की तो बहुत प्यारी है, हमारे लड़के में ही खोट है।
रोक तो ले भाई, क्या कर रहा है? एक बार तो रोक। मुझे उद्देश्य नहीं दिख रहा यार तेरी जिंदगी का। अब क्या करेगा जी के? इसकी आंख, हमें सच्चा प्यार हो गया और ये मजे ले रही है। छोटी कहीं की, कोई कदर ही नहीं रह गई दुनिया में प्यार की। मेरा तो दिल कर रहा है कूद के मर जाऊं। इतने फ्रिवलेस हो चुके लोग, छी।
Ranbir was last seen in Ayan Mukherjee's Brahmastra alongside his wife and actor Alia Bhatt. The actor has 2 more parts lined up in this trilogy. The mythological drama was highly praised for its VFX.
जल, वायु, अग्नि, प्राचीन काल से हमारे बीच कुछ ऐसी शक्तियां हैं जो अस्त्रों में भरी हुई हैं। ये कहानी है इन सारे अस्त्रों के देवता की, ब्रह्मास्त्र।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
You're watching India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. We're cutting across straight to the BJP press conference on Pawan Khera, Congress leader's arrest.
क्यों ना कहें, अमर्यादित भाषा क्यों ना बोलें, ये अपना ही गड्ढा खोदने जैसा है जिसपे कांग्रेस पार्टी खुद गिरेगी। और इस गलतफहमी में मैं पुनः कह दूं ना जिए कि कानून से ऊपर कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता हैं। हम लोग सब लोग सार्वजनिक जीवन में केवल इसलिए हैं क्योंकि हमें देश को आगे बढ़ाना है और जनता की सेवा करनी है। धन्यवाद।
Okay, so that's a comment that's coming in from BJP's Gaurav Bhatia, where he's lashed out at the Congress and in fact targeting Pawan Khera over the comments that he made against Prime Minister Modi. But dramatic developments that we witnessed in the last few hours. If you're just tuning in to us here on India Today, we're getting you the latest updates. Now, Congress leader Pawan Khera has been arrested. In fact, he was to board a flight this morning, an Indigo flight, along with several other Congress leaders to Raipur, was asked to deplane. And then after that, after a brief protest in the tarmac, he's been arrested now by Assam police officials who went down to Delhi to take him into custody. All this over the comments that he made about Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Dramatic images that have been coming in of the Congress's protest. Let's in fact get you some of the big highlights. Pawan Khera was arrested by Assam cops at the Delhi airport today. This was after he was deplaned from a flight to Chhattisgarh capital Raipur. He will be presented in a Delhi court and then will be taken to Assam on transit remand. Congress moves top court over Khera's arrest. Congress seeks consolidation of FIR against Pawan Khera. Senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi mentions case pertaining to his arrest before the Supreme Court. Congress leaders, including MP, staged a dharna at Delhi Airport's Terminal 1 protesting the action against Pawan Khera. Randeep Surjewala and others were seen raising slogans while seated on the tarmac. Soon after the showdown, where Congress leaders were seen blocking one of the flights, Indigo Airlines released a statement and said that only Khera was asked to deplane, after which other Congress leaders flying along with him to Raipur also chose to deboard. Congress alleged that Pawan Khera was stopped without an arrest warrant. Congress Neta slammed the central government and said that action against Khera has rattled the government. In fact, Congress even alleged action to be taken by a bunch of Modi Sarkar's goons. So Pawan Khera, after hours of drama, has now been arrested. The chief of the Congress media cell and publicity department was arrested from the Delhi airport, even as he was set to board a flight and go to Raipur in Chhattisgarh to attend the Congress plenary session. Khera was arrested by the Assam police after an FIR was registered against him for referring to the Prime Minister as Narendra Gautam Das Modi. While Khera had clarified that it was a mispronunciation of the Prime Minister's name and that it was a slip of tongue, the jibe led to an all-out political showdown, and also it led to complaints being filed against Pawan Khera. The BJP accused the Congress Neta of insulting the Prime Minister and his late father. And the big breaking news that's coming in is from the Supreme Court, where the hearing on Pawan Khera's arrest has begun in the top court. Remember, the Congress had in fact moved a petition. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is arguing on behalf of Congress Neta Pawan Khera. Singhvi, to get you some of the highlights of what's happening in the Supreme Court, has confirmed before the court that Pawan Khera has been arrested by the Assam police. He's also in fact gone on to state that these crossing boundaries is most definitely not an offence. So they're questioning, why was Pawan Khera stopped from boarding that flight from Delhi to Raipur? Now, this is in fact the update that's coming in. Let me continue to read out for you what's happening in the Supreme Court. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the CGI in fact asks Abhishek Manu Singhvi, what has Pawan Khera said? Singhvi says, I don't want to read the offending statement. And then Singhvi goes on to clarify, because the CJI persists to ask him what exactly did he say. Singhvi says he did a play on words. He said he genuinely got confused. He apologized and also said he made a mistake. So Singhvi tells the bench essentially that Pawan Khera has apologized for the error, had confirmed, admitted to making a mistake, and that he had done a play of words which was by mistake. And that's what Abhishek Manu Singhvi is right now pointing out to the CJI-led bench. Now, in the hearing right now, Abhishek Manu Singhvi has also said, I personally don't believe in crossing boundaries, but if you've crossed boundaries, that cannot be the offense. This cannot be the reaction. So now the big breaking news that's coming in is that Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who's representing the Congress, who's representing Pawan Khera in the Supreme Court, has said that Pawan Khera did not say Narendra Gautam Das Modi on purpose. It was a mistake, it was a play on words, and that he's apologized. So that is the comment that Singhvi has made in defense of Pawan Khera. Let's see what the CJI and the bench really has to say about that. But the Chief Justice of India insisted that, in fact, Singhvi gives clarity to the court on exactly what Pawan Khera said. And that's when Singhvi said he did a play on words and then had apologized also, saying he did it by mistake. Now, what we're also being told right now, and in fact, the hearing in the Supreme Court, there has been a discussion about exactly what played out as the CJI asked Singhvi, where did this happen? Was he taken into custody in the tarmac? Where has the case been registered? Singhvi then responded, saying that Pawan Khera was brought out of the flight. We don't know what exactly is happening, but it looks like he's being taken to Dwarka. So these are the breaking updates that are coming in. Singhvi now arguing, saying that a man is boarding a flight, being arrested like this. He admitted it was a mistake. He admitted that it was a slip of tongue. So this seems to be the basis of the Congress's argument to the Supreme Court, saying why is this kind of drastic action being taken when Pawan Khera had in fact apologized, had said he'd made a mistake when in fact he made that comment calling Prime Minister Narendra Modi as Narendra Gautam Das Modi instead of Narendra Damodar Das Modi. So now Singhvi, who's arguing for the Congress in court, has gone on to state that he's admitted on the very same day he made the comment that it was a mistake, it was a slip of tongue. Why is he being arrested? Now, the bench is also discussing right now what's happening. And as we track what's happening in the Supreme Court, I also want to highlight for you what you see on your screens are images that are coming in from the location where Pawan Khera has been taken. We'll connect with our reporter to tell you exactly where this is, but it looks like he's being taken for a medical test first, as is the norm, after which he will be produced in court, as the Assam police will seek a transit remand to take him, in fact, to Assam for further investigation. But focusing really on what's happening in the Supreme Court right now, Singhvi has highlighted that they want a consolidation of all FIRs and saying that without any notice being issued, Pawan Khera has been arrested. So this is the contention that the Congress is putting up in court right now. They're raising a number of aspects. One, they're saying that when Pawan Khera has apologized, has admitted it was a slip of tongue, has admitted he made a mistake on the same day that he made the comment, why is he being arrested? Second, they're saying that there wasn't a single notice that was issued to him before he was taken into custody. And third, they're asking, how is it a flight risk if Pawan Khera was traveling domestically? He was traveling from one part of the country to another. Why has he been taken into custody so dramatically from a flight at the Delhi airport? So these are essentially the big takeaways right now from the Supreme Court hearing that's underway. The Congress also importantly is saying we want a consolidation of all the FIRs against Pawan Khera. This is a step essentially to ensure that the Congress knows what are the charges that Pawan Khera faces and where have these complaints, where have these FIRs been filed against him. We're also being told right now that the bench is discussing amongst themselves the circumstances of what's happened. We're being told that in fact the bench has taken all the details into consideration right now, because they asked Singhvi, who's representing the Congress, what exactly did Pawan Khera say? They've asked Singhvi what exactly happened. Where was Pawan Khera taken into custody? How was he arrested? Singhvi has given clarity on all of that. But the essence of the Congress's argument here is how can Pawan Khera be arrested without even a notice being issued to him, which is the norm as per, in fact, Singhvi says without Section 41 notice, they're going ahead and arresting him. The other aspect of this, they're saying, is that when Pawan Khera admitted it was a mistake, when Pawan Khera on the very same day that he made the comment apologized, why is it that he is still facing this kind of action? So this is essentially the basic argument that the Congress is putting forth. We're tracking very closely right now what's coming out of the top court, what is emerging right now, what are the discussions that are underway. But the Congress moved the top court seeking an urgent hearing in this matter. More updates that are coming in live right now from a reporter inside the court. Singhvi has asked for protection from the Supreme Court, saying you can protect him, the lordships, the judges can protect him by consolidation of FIRs. And Singhvi is also alleging, this is a big allegation, Singhvi is alleging that all of this is nothing but political. Then you have a representative from the Assam government who is saying that there is no reason for this much of an argument. He's just been taken for transit remands. And then the Assam government lawyer has in fact said, I can show the video which clearly shows that it was not a mistake. So the argument right now from the Assam government lawyer is that this video of Pawan Khera, where he made the comment of Narendra Gautam Das Modi, was no mistake, as Congress is trying to argue right now in court. They're saying we'll show you the video in court to tell you exactly, in fact, what he said and how it's not a mistake. So the bench right now, as we speak, is watching the video. They're watching the comment that Pawan Khera made, the comment that he said of Narendra Gautam Das Modi, so they can decide whether it was a slip of tongue, whether it was a mistake, or whether it was intentional. Maushmi Singh is joining us from the Supreme Court with more on this. Maushmi, get us up to speed with the latest updates from the Supreme Court. We are here right now that the bench is watching the video, the comment that Pawan Khera made, to ascertain whether it was a mistake or whether it was intentional.
Absolutely, this matter has spiraled into a big political controversy, from the airport to the Dwarika court, and now the Congress knocking the door of the Supreme Court. Clearly, you can see that here Singhvi is arguing that you need to protect him by consolidating the FIRs. The Congress believes and has sent out a message that whatever the law is, the Congress will cooperate with it, and that's the reason that Pawan Khera, gave in to the arrest as far as, the transit remand is concerned. But right now, in the Supreme Court, the bench is watching the video. Remember, it was in a press conference at the AICC headquarters. We were present right there when Pawan Khera made that remark, and he then tried to correct it, and Jairam Ramesh, all the top leaders of the Congress were present right there. And so Pawan Khera made that remark, and thereafter there was a statement that he did issue, that it was a mistake, that he had said it, but it was a slip of tongue, but not an unconditional apology. And the BJP is gone hammer and tongs about it. And now the big news that is coming in is that Singhvi is saying that some degree of latitude, proportionality of offence has to be seen. So here the Congress is saying what is the offence, and according to the offence, the action should be taken. The entire drama that's being created by the Assam police is unwarranted, and the Delhi police is unwarranted, and it is at the behest of Home Minister Amit Shah. It is saying that there is a crime, there is a matter that is in front of the Supreme Court, and the proportion of the matter needs to be seen, and then a call needs to be taken. That's the point that Abhishek Manu Singhvi is hammering on. Remember, they are not saying there is no matter. They are talking about whatever slip of tongue or whatever Pawan Khera has said, it has to be taken cognizance with the law. And the Assam police, leaving no stone unturned, gets the video out, shows the video to the bench, and says this was not a mistake. Now, Pawan Khera is the media chairperson, Akshata. The viewers need to be told he's the media chairperson of the Congress party. He makes scathing attack, frontal attack, launches frontal attack on the government. He's a master of words. He's a spinner as far as, rebutting the BJP is concerned. So that background is what the BJP, and perhaps in fact, that background is the one that the Assam police is coming with, that this is not a mistake, it is actually mocking the Prime Minister and mocking his father. And clearly the Assam police sticking to their ground as far as this issue is concerned. The argument is going on, and the Congress party is absolutely rallying behind Pawan Khera. Earlier we saw an entire drama unfold at the runway. We saw top leaders even as we speak.
True, and interesting developments right now coming in from the Supreme Court as well. Maushmi, you were telling us about the highlights right now. Essentially, the team representing Pawan Khera, led by Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is saying we have an application for interim relief. They want the Supreme Court to intervene in this matter. It comes down right now to 2 points. On one hand, you have Congress, led by Abhishek Manu Singhvi in the Supreme Court, saying that Pawan Khera admitted he made a mistake on the very same day that he made the comment calling Prime Minister Narendra Modi as Narendra Gautam Das Modi. The Congress is saying he admitted he made a mistake. It was a slip of tongue. But the Assam government lawyer, who is also in the court right now, has said it's not mistake. He was intentionally making such a comment. So what we've seen very dramatically in the Supreme Court is the video, that particular comment made by Pawan Khera in the Congress press conference days ago, actually being played out in the court. So the bench that is currently presiding over this case can decide for themselves whether it was intentional or whether the comment was made by mistake. So that particularly is what this all hinges on right now. Now, in fact, at this point, more updates that are coming in. The bench has told the ASG we can consolidate. They can move the jurisdictional court for quashing, which we won't entertain. Now, the ASG has gone on, who's representing, in fact, the Assam government, saying, and again highlighting, see how Pawan Khera spoke, the manner in which he said it. It's derogatory, it's insulting the Prime Minister, it's to incite disaffection, disloyalty. He's a duly elected Prime Minister. So the arguments right now are completely based on whether Pawan Khera made these comments about Prime Minister Modi intentionally or by mistake. Kanu Sharda is joining us with more on this. So Kanu, we're tracking right now what's playing out in the Supreme Court. The Assam government lawyer is essentially arguing, saying the case against Pawan Khera is warranted because the comment he made was very much intentional.
Yes, Akshita, the video has been played out on the tablet which was handed over by the ASG Aishwarya Bhati to the 3-judge bench comprising Chief Justice of India, P.S. Narasimha and Justice M.R. Shah, and who have gone through the video and had said that, you know, it is very difficult for us to step into this jurisdiction right now, because what Pawan Khera's lawyer and senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi is telling the bench that they only wanted the consolidation of the FIRs and not seeking any further relief. He went on to say that Mr. Khera has already apologized on the same day, and he said that he had made a mistake. Though Mr. Singhvi has clearly, categorically told the bench that he personally doesn't like the way the things were handled, but yes, he also said that, you know, these are political statements, and this needs, if a boundary has been crossed, that is not the way how you deal with. So his basic contention is that, you know, the consolidation of all FIRs. He said, he told the court that there is a FIR which is pending in Varanasi, one is in Lucknow, one is in Assam, and one is in Delhi. So, and he told the court that Assam police had reached the airport today morning at 11 o'clock and handed him over a warrant and asked him to join the investigation.
Stay with me. The update that's coming in from the court is that the video with Pawan Khera's comment has been played again. Kanu told us how the first time it was played in a tablet. This time around, it is the Assam government lawyer who's played out the video, and she's ensured that she's played the video so that the audio is audible to the entire courtroom. So clearly the Assam government at this point, the lawyer who's representing the government, is making her case on one basis, that the comment was completely intentional. So Pawan Khera needs to in fact respond to that, and that's why he's been taken into custody. We're tracking what's happening in the Supreme Court very closely. Let's get you in the meanwhile some of the reactions that are coming in, starting off with what Pawan Khera said the moment he was arrested.
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है। एक मिनट, लड़ाई है, लड़नी पड़ेगी। ये पवन जी साफ कह रहे हो, ये देखिए यहाँ से। आपका क्या कहना है? आप देख रहे हैं जी, कार्रवाई
चला रहे हैं, देखते हैं क्या कार्रवाई है।
इस मामले में ले जाया जा रहा है आपको?
देखते हैं, अभी सारी जानकारी मिलेगी आपको भी।
कौन कौन लोग थे अंदर, कौन कौन थे? कोई ऑर्डर दिया सर? आप देख रहे हैं कि कैसे इस बस में पवन खेड़ा जी को और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, इन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है? ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की। ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं, नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आप को करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं है।
ये सीधी सीधी बात है। भारत जोड़ो यात्रा और हाथ से हाथ जोड़ो यात्रा के बाद ये जो 50वां जो महाधिवेशन रायपुर में होने जा रहा है, उससे भारतीय जनता पार्टी बुरी तरह से घबराई हुई है और उसके कारण से निम्नतर स्तर में जाकर ये कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। ईडी की कार्रवाई हो, चाहे वो कार्यकर्ताओं के यहाँ हो, पार्टी पदाधिकारियों के यहाँ हो, और चाहे अभी तत्काल में पवन खेरा को जिस प्रकार से प्लेन से उतारा गया है, तो ये बताता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी किस स्तर पे जा रही है। राजनीतिक विरोध को बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पा रही है और उसे दमन करने के निम्न स्तर के हथकंडे अपना रहे हैं। भाई ये इतना बड़ा अपराध नहीं है, या कोई देश से बाहर नहीं जा रहे थे जिसके लिए उसको प्लेन से उतारा जाए। यदि उनको लगता है कि गलत हुआ है तो उसे कार्रवाई हो जाती है। पहले कहते आसाम पुलिस सोई हुई थी क्या? और दूसरा, जब प्लेन में चढ़ गए तब उतारने की क्या ज़रूरत है? वो रायपुर भी आ सकती थी, या फिर यहाँ प्लेनरी सेशन होता हो तब कार्रवाई करते। लेकिन ये नहीं करके बता रहे हैं कि ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग और उनके सरकारें अपना आपा खो चुकी है।
बड़े लॉयलिस्ट साबित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। एक फर्जी एफआईआर असम में दर्ज करके और पवन खेड़ा जी को गिरफ्तार किया जा रहा है। पवन खेड़ा का कसूर क्या है? उन्होंने एक पत्रकार वार्ता में केवल और केवल नाम लिया था। हम ये इस सच्चाई से लड़ेंगे, हम सच्चाई के सिपाही हैं और न वो हमारी आवाज को दबा पाएंगे, न वो हमारी आवाज को रोक पाएंगे। हम कानूनी तरीके से भी और राजनीतिक तरीके से भी इस पुलिस या गुंडागर्दी से जोर से लड़ेंगे। हमारी आवाज बुलंद रहे।
आज इतनी बड़ी घटना हुई कि आप जिस रूप में पवन खेड़ा जी को उतारा गया, उसके प्रोटेस्ट में सभी नेता लोग उतर गए, वहां धरना दिया है। ये घटना देश नहीं दुनिया भर के अंदर हमारे देश की बदनामी करवाएगी। ये सरकार चाहती क्या है? क्या प्रधानमंत्री जी को, गृह मंत्री जी को नॉलेज में नहीं है? ये कोई मान सकेगा इस बात को? क्या उनके बगैर नॉलेज के इस प्रकार को हिम्मत कर सकता है? बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति बनती जा रही है देश के अंदर।
It shows the pettiness of Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Narendra Modi. Without any reason, without against any kind of these things, Pawan Khera has been made to suffer, and Congress party will fight back. And Congress party is a party which has seen the Britishers also do these things, and we will not bow down to these kind of dramas.
FIR ഉണ്ടോ അറിയില്ല, സമൻസ് ഉണ്ടോ അറിയില്ല. ഒരു കാരണവുമില്ലാതെ ഒരാളെ യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളെ, അതും കോൺഗ്രസ് പാർട്ടിയുടെ ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സമ്മേളനത്തിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ആളെ ഡീപ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്? രാജ്യത്ത് നടക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ്? ഇത് മോഡിയുടെ ഭരണകാലത്ത് എന്തും നടത്താവുന്ന സ്ഥിതിയിലാണോ കാര്യങ്ങളുള്ളത്? ഇതിനൊന്നും ഞങ്ങൾ വകവെച്ച് കൊടുക്കാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് കൃത്യമായ കാരണമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ സഹകരിക്കും.
आज हमारे बड़े वरिष्ठ जो प्रवक्ता हैं पवन खेरा जी, उनको एयरपोर्ट पे रोक लिया गया रायपुर जाने की फ्लाइट के अंदर। ये दिखलाता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी कितना घबराती है, सच नहीं सुन सकती। उन्होंने क्या ऐसा गलत बोला कि उनको एयरपोर्ट में फ्लाइट से उतारा जा रहा है? जो क्रिमिनल्स हैं, विजय माल्या को आज तक नहीं पकड़ पाए, छोटे मोदी जी जो बाहर बैठे हैं, नीरव मोदी जी, उनको आज तक नहीं लेके आ पाए। परंतु जो व्यक्ति सरकार को एक्सपोज करता है, जो व्यक्ति प्रधानमंत्री के खिलाफ बोलता है, उसके ऊपर ईडी, सीबीआई और अब पुलिस का दुरुपयोग करती है। ये भी दिखलाता है कि कितना अहंकार मोदी सरकार में आ गया है।
कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता
पवन खेड़ा जी को जो हिरासत में लिया गया है उसकी हम निंदा करते हैं। जिस तरह से देश में नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार ये हुकुमशाही की तरह जो बर्ताव कर रही है उसका भी हम निषेध करते हैं।
आज सुरजेवाला और उनके साथी इंडिगो की फ्लाइट के आगे धरने पर बैठे हैं क्योंकि कांग्रेस के उनके साथी पवन खेड़ा देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के पिताजी के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोले और उनसे पूछताछ भी ना हो। ये कैसा कानून है और ये कैसी डेमोक्रेसी है? मैं गांधी परिवार से पूछना चाहता हूं, ये कैसी डेमोक्रेसी है? आम साधारण आदमी जो टिकट लेकर आज जहाज पर सवारी करना चाहते हैं, आज आपने उनके जहाज को भी रोकने का काम कर दिया। मुझे लगता है ये सबसे निचले स्तर की गंदी राजनीति है।
कांग्रेस पार्टी के बड़े नेता के साथ किया ये निंदनीय, दुखद है। इस तरह की कार्रवाई और तब जब आप एयरपोर्ट हवाई जहाज में बैठने जा रहे हो, ये बीजेपी की कोई नई स्ट्रेटजी नहीं है। जो दिल्ली में हुआ है, हवाई जहाज में कांग्रेस के प्रवक्ता बैठ गए, उतार दिया, कोई नई चीज़ नहीं है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बारे में यही कहा जाता है, वो कानून नहीं मानते हैं, संविधान नहीं मानते हैं, दूसरे के बारे में कुछ भी कह सकते हैं।
So let's get you all the latest updates coming in from the Supreme Court right now. We can confirm for you that the video in which Pawan Khera referred to Prime Minister Modi as Narendra Gautam Das Modi has been played out in court twice, and both times based on the request from the Assam government lawyer who said that the bench must see the video to confirm that it was an intentional comment is what the Assam government is currently arguing, because the Congress maintains it was a mistake that Pawan Khera made and that he said that it was a mistake the very same day. It was a slip of tongue. Let's get you in fact more updates right now at this point as we speak, and the updates coming in from the Supreme Court. I can also tell you that right now Pawan Khera is undergoing the mandatory medical test as well, and this is as per routine. After that we'll see really where he's taken. But let me also tell you right now that in this particular case, the Supreme Court is also suggesting that they can go to the magistrate to release Pawan Khera on interim bail. But that's something that the Assam government has opposed, saying let Pawan Khera make a case for interim bail before the magistrate. Why does the Supreme Court need to intervene in this matter? Now, the Assam government continuing to maintain that what Pawan Khera has said is derogatory, insulting to the Prime Minister and incites disaffection against a duly elected Prime Minister. So these are in fact the updates that are coming in. I can confirm for you that the order right now is being dictated. So we're going to track very closely whether the Supreme Court gives any relief to Pawan Khera or says let the magistrate decide. Let's see what plays out when the Assam police now produce him in court. Let's take this across to Maushami first. Maushami, even as we track what's happening in the Supreme Court, can you tell us where Pawan Khera currently is?
So Pawan Khera has been taken to the DDU hospital for a medical checkup. That's the protocol that is followed before he is produced in front of the Dwarka court. But clearly in the Supreme Court what's playing out, Akshata, is that the court has said we cannot quash any FIR. We cannot do that. We can consolidate the FIRs. We can think about that. But as far as quashing the airport, you will have to go to the court of that jurisdiction. But clearly Supreme Court is saying, Akshata, that a communication has been addressed by the SI from Assam to SHO Police Station, Domestic Airport, New Delhi, saying he is required to be apprehended in connection with three offences: 153A, 153B1, 500, 504, 505 and 120B of the IPC, in fact many more. And here the Supreme Court is reading out the order, Akshata, saying that the jurisdiction of the court, in fact under Article 32, has been invoked. Quashing of the complaint, in alternative transfer and clubbing of FIRs in one jurisdiction. So here details of relief have been sought and a consolidation of FIRs has been demanded. Restraint on coercive steps and other reliefs, including provision of security to the petitioner and the family. So clearly protection being sought by the Congress party for Pawan Khera. It is being argued that there should be a consolidation of FIR, and in minutes from now the Supreme Court will actually read out the order. On the other hand, Pawan Khera has been taken to the DDO hospital where the medical checkup for Pawan Khera will take place, and that's what's happening in the Supreme Court. And
So
Singhvi
it's
is
been
arguing
confirmed right
for
now that-
petitioners. Singhvi for petitioners submits that at this stage, yes.
Okay, so Maushami getting us those updates. Let's take this across also to Kanu Sharda. The order as we speak is being dictated. And what Maushami was pointing out towards the end is that Singhvi again has confirmed that right now they're not seeking the quashing of the charges. They're not seeking the quashing of the cases, but rather would pursue remedies before the appropriate court. What they're seeking from the Supreme Court, Kanu, is essentially the consolidation of the FIRs.
Yes, he is seeking the consolidation of FIRs. He's also seeking no coercive action against him or his family till the time the consolidation of the FIRs will take place. And he's also demanded that, the alternative arrangement like transfer and clubbing of FIRs at one place. So it is very important to see the order is still being dictated. My colleague Shrishti Ojha is sending us live updates from the Supreme Court. So it is it's a matter of few minutes only we'll get to know where is the order for Pawan Khera is coming, whether there is a relief or he has been asked to go to the jurisdictional court to seeking relief.
That's right. So we'll have to see whether the Supreme Court actually gives in to, in fact, the demand. We're getting in fact, more comments right now. Big comment that's come in from Abhishek Manu Singhvi on behalf of Pawan Khera, saying that the petitioner, Pawan Khera here, is willing to tender an unconditional apology because it wasn't his insult and his intent to insult the Prime Minister. So that's the big breaking news that's currently coming in. Abhishek Manu Singhvi on behalf of Pawan Khera saying that Khera is willing to extend an unconditional apology because it wasn't his intent to insult Prime Minister Modi. The Congress's argument in the Supreme Court is based on this. They're saying that Pawan Khera made a mistake. It was a slip of tongue for which he immediately admitted it was a mistake. So now to add to that, to pad up that particular argument, you've got Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying now that Pawan Khera is willing and will tender an unconditional apology as it wasn't his intent to insult the Prime Minister or make that comment of Narendra Gautam Das Modi. So this is the big breaking news that's coming in. Singhvi has also added to that, saying that the petitioner, Pawan Khera here, clarified that the use of language was inadvertent, though erroneous, and he would not stand by the use of such language. So he is confirming that he doesn't endorse the kind of language that he's used against Prime Minister Modi, and that's why he's willing to tender an unconditional apology. The question then will be, why wasn't that unconditional apology given earlier? Why is it coming up now alone in the court? Now, after that, we're also seeing that right now, words used, it's been submitted, the words used don't invoke offense under the sections imposed. And then you have, in fact, the ASG, who's representing the Assam government, saying that the expression used was intentional. I want to focus right now on the big breaking news that's coming in. The Supreme Court saying we're inclined to entertain the petition confined to whether FIRs should be clubbed to one jurisdiction. Such course was adopted in other cases as well. So the Supreme Court seems to be leaning towards going ahead and consolidating these FIRs. A consolidation of FIRs, Maushami, will mean that it's some relief for Pawan Khera.
Absolutely, as Kanu just mentioned that there are multiple FIRs in Delhi, in Lucknow, in Assam, in Varanasi, and that's one reason, Singhvi is also pressing for a consolidation of FIR. And the other thing, the other big news that's pouring in is also about the interim relief. We'll have to see whether he will be able to get an interim relief from the Supreme Court for Pawan Khera. He's been stressing on that. But clearly, as far as the quashing of FIRs is concerned, that plea would not be entertained by the Supreme Court here, is what the Supreme Court has said, and the Supreme Court is repeating that we are inclined to entertain that petition as far as consolidating all the FIRs is concerned. And the big news really is that, as you just mentioned, that Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying an unconditional apology by Pawan Khera has been given earlier also also and would be given, and it was an inadvertent mistake, a slip of tongue, and the offences that have been slammed on Pawan Khera.
The big breaking news that's coming in, Maushami, the big breaking news, relief to Pawan Khera being given by the Supreme Court. The top court has agreed to club all FIRs against Khera together. So the consolidation of FIRs, which Abhishek Manu Singhvi, arguing for Pawan Khera, had sought for, that's being done by the Supreme Court. Relief, interim although, is being provided right now to Pawan Khera, as the Supreme Court has agreed to club all FIRs against Pawan Khera together. A notice has also been issued to the Assam government and to the UP government. And the Supreme Court has issued a notice essentially to transfer and club all FIRs registered in one jurisdiction, because as Maushami was pointing out, you've got multiple cases across different states where there are cases against Pawan Khera. All of that is going to be clubbed, and it's based on that a notice has been issued now to the Assam government and to the UP government. So this is the big breaking news, Maushami. Relief for Pawan Khera. What will this really mean for him now?
The other big news that's pouring in is that Supreme